What's going on, ladies and gents? That's right. Holy hell. Seth Rollins cashes in night one of SummerSlam, making it a big deal. Wow, I am whelmed. Not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed, but whelmed. Excuse me. It's been a day, and you know what? This night was interesting. There's a lot to talk, a lot to mull over, and I couldn't be happier to be joined by the one, the only. You heard him, ladies. That's right. That little, that feeling in your chest. That's what happens when you hear Spaz. What's going on, buddy?
Not too much. It makes me think of the you must have seen the guy out there that does the little reel shorts, and it's like the Triple H entrance, but he keeps replacing the Triple H laugh with like different laughs.
Yes.
It's like the Krusty the Clown laugh or the Sideshow Bob laugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so good.
Time to lay the tarps. I mean, what?
They did not have to tonight. They were sold out indeed. Behind me, I have my usual slideshow, but we also have pictures featured from the one and only Cody Onidi 316. So hats off to him. He is at SummerSlam. That motherfucking. He's like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'll take you with me. And then he left me standing in the corner. He's like, I'm gonna pick you up right next to the Home Depot at that bus stop. He thought it was funny. I stood there for like 6 hours.
Come on, Jake. That's not the longest amount of time you've spent at a street corner.
I know, but at least then I get tipped. This was just...
I'll give you a tip if you want.
Just a tip, please. I mean...
Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
No.
Anyway.
Well, talk about swearing in 7 seconds. We managed to make that horny in 6. Talking about 6 degrees
we're allowed
of
to swear now.
Spaz. We are, and we can do a bunch of crazy things.
What did I say at the beginning of the preview? Well, apparently we're allowed to swear now. Were you guys not swearing?
Were we not to begin with? We had a little bit of Tourette's at one point, just,
You tried to help me out with the censor button at one point, and that was about it.
Yeah, Jake, DeMarco, it was close enough. We always tried to get it lined up. Yeah, this night drove me to drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, or I'm just in a really good mood tonight.
I am as well. I'm happy to be here. This is the SummerSlam review. It's August 2nd, 2025. Night one of SummerSlam just concluded. Seth Rollins cashed in. Hopefully everybody's doing well. This is the man, myth, and legend Spaz Phoenix with me. Cody will be here shortly once he gets to his hotel room. He just got finishing off the janitor to get those tickets for night 2. So good on him. He's going both nights. I told him, do what you have to, but wax on, wax off, you know?
We can stow you safely in the overhead compartment.
Exactly. So glad to see everybody in the chat's doing well. Yeah, it has been an interesting SummerSlam. You know, people thought Seth was going to do this. Liz was screaming it from the mountaintops that he's not injured. We heard nothing about him having surgery. They were already in Birmingham, so all right, we knew he got scans, but how do you prove that? Yeah, so it genuinely felt like a work to begin with, but I had been denying it, not because I didn't think it was a possibility. I was hoping they weren't going to be that blatantly lazy with it, because what is the purpose? Maybe someone can explain it to me in the chat. Maybe Spaz has a good feeling on this. Why did Seth have to go ahead and surprise Punk? He didn't really catch him off guard. Like, what was the difference if he cashed in? Like, I don't. So he didn't have a match tonight, maybe? Or Seth wanted to protect himself. I just don't understand why the surprise element. What was the point? Why did he have to feign injured?
My computer's doing something stupid, so if I can get that to stop happening. Can you still
I know
hear me?
all about that. I can indeed.
Right, fantastic.
So
my theory, I think I started to say this before we came on the air. I don't think it was necessary from us watching the story point of view. The only way I can make it make sense, and I'm kind of grasping at straws a little bit, is Seth Rollins needed to do it this way, because it's not enough for Seth Rollins to screw over CM Punk. He has to feel like he outsmarted him too. Like, if, taking it off on a tangent type of thing, whenever we talk about any pay-per-view after Money in the Bank has happened, every match we talk about is like, oh, this could happen or this could happen. or the guy with the Money in the Bank cash in can cash in, right?
Sorry,
people
hold on
participating
1 second. This is not your fault.
or the guy with the
This
Money
is
in the
what
Bank
I'm
cash in
hearing.
can cash
So I'm hearing
right?
4 spazzes right now.
people
So hold on
participating-
1 second. This is not your fault. Sorry, I thought I was going crazy there for a minute. I was like, I know Spaz is in here, but what voice is behind? Oh, there was just multiple of you. I was going nuts. Judgment Day era in the chat saying he called it. I mean, it feels like everybody and their mom did say Seth's not injured, and I was just trying to be like, damn. And I know you're making a good point. You really are, and I didn't want to derail you from that. I just wanted to be able to hear you.
Do I sound okay now?
It was not you. It was on my end, but please continue, sir.
No, but I was just saying, like, from the point of view of if he wasn't injured, then both Gunther and Punk and Cody and Cena would all have to think, hey, Seth could cash in on us tonight. But I think the injury thing, not from an overall point of view, but Seth thinking, hey, if I give these guys a false sense of security, it'll be an extra fuck you when I get out there.
Yeah,
the false sense of security being like Gunther thinking, okay, all I have to deal with tonight is Punk.
Yeah,
Punk thinking,
so he wasn't
all I have to
looming
deal with
overhead, but all he had to do was say, you know what, I'm going to cash in on Cena then, or I'm going to wait. I know it's wrestling. Like, I get your
problem
point.
with
You're
that.
trying
Problem
to
with that
justify
because
it,
he's a heel. Because he's a heel, and this is a very, very, very Markish thing to say. As soon as somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm going for the other title. I'm going for Cena. I'm gonna take out the biggest name there is," immediately I'm thinking, "Yeah, you're saying that because you're going for Punk."
Exactly.
Like,
Nothing. It wouldn't have been great either which way.
Too much. Yeah,
that's the issue. And I just wish there was some creative in the creative here. Like they might find a way tomorrow night to justify it. And we'll see what ruse they came up with of justifications. You look at things how I
part
like.
of it that,
you're analytical. Like, you really are, because
I don't
do the
like
same.
what happened. I'm sorry. I don't dislike what happened tonight.
Yeah.
My frustration goes backwards to Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
Because if it's a work that he was like, if he was faking it, or however we want to say it,
yeah,
then you make LA Knight look like a fucking goof. Now, LA Knight walked out of that match with the win after like the gentlest blunt force trauma ever,
making sure not to pick up the injured leg. Like, see, that's what I was saying. You and I both have an analytical mind, so when we look at it, that's why I like the back and forth, because of that discourse. We have that chess element to it. You like to make and worry about the move before, the move after. That's the thing with Gunther. So Gunther had to dethrone Jay in Jay's title run so that he could face Goldberg and then put Punk over. Like, it doesn't feel great for Gunther here.
No.
If they just ended it with Punk beating him, it feels like that's good. Somehow the cash-in like diminishes Gunther more for me, if that makes sense. It devalues what he went through.
You know what it makes me think of, right? It makes me think of probably the best story WWE's told in a long time, WrestleMania 40, Cody finishing the story and whatever.
Yeah.
Take it back a year before that, when everybody sat there cross-armed at the end of 39 saying, well, in a year, if they do what I want, then I'll be okay with this. It's like, no. It's like, no, feel how you feel on the night. Saturday night's retrospectively now, I'm going to say Saturday night's main event didn't make any sense.
No.
That aside, I don't particularly have a problem. And Seth being the melodramatic character that he is, of course he came out with the band.
I guess, like, what a better way to fool your opponent than in front of them. You know, like the magician says, you know, sleight of hand, you were looking directly at the ring. And it was a great spot because we've seen him hurt that knee.
Bret Hart got Vince McMahon to agree to a hardcore match at WrestleMania because he thought Bret only had one leg. And then Bret Hart, during the contract signing, takes the cast off and puts it on the table there.
Yeah.
It was the flamboyant, you know,
the ruse,
Seth Rollins version of that. Yeah.
I get it. It just feels empty. It was done for the sake of it, as where he knew Vince would not agree to the match.
Yeah.
This, I guess you needed to think he wasn't going to cash in. And
you
then
didn't think he wasn't going to cash in
after
because
you saw
he didn't...
the Bronze lose earlier. That really upset me. I didn't expect them to always beat Roman, but come on, they had to beat Roman tonight by maybe beating Jay at least. I mean, I hate to say it, but it wouldn't have killed Jay to be beaten here. I appreciate Roman taking the spear for his brother. That was a very cool spot. We'll get into all of it. You know, we'll get cousin, brother, lineage. Hey, Work with me, sir, not against me. That's why I got you fact checking.
What a mangled tree we plant.
Oh, what a weird. I will say this though: we are idiots in the United States. We only know one chant that we stole from the Europeans, and we just put everybody's name to it. Who were they chanting? Or I think they were doing Jelly Roll, right? Jelly, Jelly Roll,
Jelly Roll,
Jelly Roll. Like, come on, guys, get something better going on here. But
okay, enter in chapter 1 of me being in a much better mood than you tonight. I bet I'm getting to the point now where we get the crowds that we get, and obviously, I'm not encouraging crowds to be dicks, right?
No,
but we're in that huge crowd era, like WWE's in a. You know what was the Triple H ad? I don't know if you've heard right now, but WWE's on fire.
WWE's, I mean, they are doing great. We know they're doing great,
but part of that is obviously the crowd sizes, because, you know, we can actually fill buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
The crowd noise, especially for certain people tonight, the crowd noise is so loud, I no longer care what they're chanting. Like, I don't particularly like Randy Orton's entrance music. But the fact that the crowd has turned it into one of there's a handful of songs out there that have become sort of wrestling anthems.
Yeah.
Cult of Personality is one of them. Obviously, Kingdom is one of them. Voices has become one of them. Judas was one. Yeah. Do you remember, right?
And now he goes by Adam Copeland again. No more Cope.
Yeah.
They dropped the Cope trademark.
Well, because the Cope thing was stupid. But no, like I take it all the way. I take it all the way back to, you know, you and I were shooting the shit, like, I don't even know if this is during the time where you and I sort of lost contact, but one of my running themes when we were covering like COVID content was like, I was still stupidly giving AEW the benefit of the doubt at the time.
Yeah.
Judas was becoming a big thing.
It was,
and I'm like, you know what? I don't even care if I go to an AEW show when COVID is over, because I'm going to see two things. I'm going to see CM Punk wrestle live, which I did. And I'm gonna be part of that Judas thing, because that became like it
was fun.
And yes, it happened in AEW, but like I don't care. Like, it superseded like what brand it was taking place in.
Yeah,
like,
they were playing it in arenas and sports shows.
The crowd is doing it now.
Yeah,
right? And where the crowd is doing that with a lot of the songs in WWE now, the ones that aren't AI created by Def Rebel.
I mean, I put more effort into my intro songs than they do pretty much half of their entrances. You know what? I know you couldn't hear the intro, but I'm actually kind of proud of myself for this one, because I went through voice mod and all that, and I that was me singing, but I went and I used the Papa Roach filter that they had, and they're like, how much Papa Roach do you want? And I was like, yes. And that's what came out at the end. And I was like, I hear the Jacoby in it. So it's, I you know, at least go ahead and attempt, that's my guitar riffs and stuff, and just do AI backing. They can't even do that. They just literally took another female's voice and then did an AI model to have her sing a song that she didn't sing.
And see, the shitty thing about that is the one entrance by them that's really being called out is the Fatal Influence entrance, which is one that I actually
which I'm referring to. Yeah, that's one that I actually I like that song. Yeah, so I meant more for the audience, but yeah, that's one that I'm quite fond of.
In probably many times that I'm going to mention tonight, I was watching, obviously, our friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network and their watch-along stream, and I mentioned it there. I'll mention it here, too. I don't know about you. When I see Roman Reigns come out now, obviously Roman Reigns has always had a very, very extravagant entrance, long entrance, Undertaker-esque in its length and its bravado, slow. Right? The newest version
you
of
took my entrance.
Oh my God, we're
don't
gonna do
start,
this again, aren't we? She took my, what was it you said in the other pod? She took my working uniform, and now she's pissed off Booker T. But no, ever since he's been sort of like come back as like the conquering hero Roman Reigns, and he's got that version of the tribal chief entrance. Every time I hear this version of it, I can't help but picture the live orchestra entrance that he had at 40.
Yeah, I have the exact same earworm part of it that it's burnt in my mind.
It's so as far
like sounding already, it's missing that.
It's the sound is thick.
Yeah.
Like, make all the puns you want. But like it's so rich and involving, and I think it's the best entrance they have right now that's not an actual song. So
Involva
like
indeed. I'm actually, you know, curious to see what they do when they move some of the NXT talent upwards, if they're going to let them keep some of their themes or change them, because some have really great themes like Ethan Page. I love that ego. You know, it works for him. That's him in a
do you
nutshell.
hear what's happened? Do you hear what's happened with Ethan Page? Actually,
No,
we're off topic of the pay-per-view already. Do you know what's kept him from being called up to the main roster?
No.
CW wants him.
Oh.
CW values him. CW wants to keep him in NXT and make sure, keep him on NXT so that he stays on our network and make sure he goes out and represents it. Like send him out to NASCAR, send him out to do a first pitch, have him cross over with TNA. They see him as like
NASCAR.
that marketable a guy.
What the fuck does Christopher Walken have to do with NASCAR?
Oh dear. What?
You said the CW.
Oh my God.
The fuck are you talking about then? I thought you were talking about the man, you know, the cock and walk baby. And got a prescription, you know, I got a fever. The only, you know, the cowbell. Ah, fuck it up. Whatever. You go ahead and cut
you threw me right the fuck off.
So if the network wants him so bad, then
the network wants him so bad that they're keeping.
Because we want him on the main roster desperately.
We do, but you know what? There's no other than Obafemi who is like destined for the main roster. Like Obafemi and Trick Williams are definitely going to the main roster sooner than later, right? Ethan Page could be a figurehead for NXT. If you're not going to move him, make him the figurehead, make him the dickhead. He's got his Canadian North American Championship that he fought Santino for,
which is glorious.
But I thought that's so cool because like
now he should come out to Real American and do a Hogan tribute as a heel each week. You know how much heat he would get if he went out and, you know, did the Hogan. Oh God, that would, because he's got the Real North American title now that he's saying, and he keeps saying that he's the real champ. So come out to Real American.
Okay, this is where you get like an intentionally bad AI version. I am a real North American.
You get Joe Hendry to sing it. That's what you do.
Oh my God. Joe Hendry's in town.
He's certainly
he's in town this weekend. He's doing the. I know you're probably doing the sound effect. I can't hear it.
No, I know. It's that guy. I'm telling you. You say his name. Just don't do that in the shower. I was a fool. I was trying to watch a Joe Hendry match on my phone in the shower, and he appeared.
And all of a sudden, you were in Tokyo. Anyways,
he was in Tokyo.
Apparently he's been a big part of the what do they call it now, like the fan experience. They call it like the SummerSlam takeover or whatever.
Yeah,
he's been part of that all week.
Kind of disgusting in some ways. Like they are exorbitantly priced. Some things are moderately priced, but some of them are like crazy expensive. I mean, the price of everything, supply and demand, but
the price of everything is going to be an ongoing conversation, and I don't tend to touch on it anymore just because it's the same conversation. It's worth talking about, but it's worth talking about if something changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everything's expensive. Yep. All right.
We know that.
Next week, everything's expensive. Do you know what I hate? Side tangent from a side tangent. When somebody who does any specific thing, like somebody who does like vegan cooking or something that specific, right? Yeah. Oh my God, can you believe how much I paid for this? Can you believe how expensive this is? Yes, I can, because everything's expensive. Go fuck yourself.
Even the bag milk, even the snippet for the bag milk is...
Oh my God, the snippet. Where's
we're going deep.
Gotta get him in here talking about the snippet and the
just
bag
gotta be
milk.
Careful. If he's talking about Canada, you can't mention Toronto.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto.
All right, I didn't hit it. So I agree. The funniest line of the night, Stuart said in the chat, was Barrett on commentary. He said in the main event, he was like, he climbed to the top of Mount Everest and didn't even have time to take a selfie. Like, it's so good. You got.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, the stuff that was flying around online, I don't know whether they said it on commentary, when they took Roman's shoes and they put them around Paul Heyman's neck.
The shoe Lafala?
No.
Oh,
the tribal thief just gave the former wise man the Shula Fala.
The Shula Thaw. So we're half on. There we go.
Yeah.
That's something.
Oh, we should do a really shitty Paul Heyman t-shirt that just has like two shoes on it, like like the fake tuxedo shirt.
That'd be great, and I'm still shocked that Seth is champion in a way. Like I didn't think this would happen entirely. I'm very much so surprised.
I got thoughts.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of it.
Speaking
Absolutely.
of shitty t-shirts,
so.
Speaking of shitty t-shirts, we got to talk about the t-shirt that they had to throw on AEW shop because it didn't sell in the venues.
Yeah.
The kayfabe is my love language. Eat shit.
That's
these are the people that say WWE's like ruining wrestling for like releasing WWE Unreal. Haven't watched it yet, by the way. But like, you're gonna make a t-shirt talking about kayfabe and just take the piss.
Yeah.
But WWE's ruining it because they showed a little bit more backstage footage than stuff that we've already seen 100 times.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Saying.
I think the Paul Heyman Shula Fala shirt will sell better.
Kind of like SummerSlam. I bet you tickets. It would. That's a foregone conclusion if I've ever heard of one. That would definitely probably sell better. So I don't know if we're still streaming on YouTube. It's having an issue. So hold on one second. I want to make sure that we're. It seems like we're still live. Okay.
I mean, I got you up there muted. So
all right, we're good.
You still look like you're up there.
No, we're good. We're good. I was attempting restream before, and when it signed everything out, it went ahead and was like, hey buddy, fuck you. And
hey buddy, hit bow.
I had to fight the computer
are we just
with
on
a
YouTube,
desktop.
or where are we?
We were going to be in a multitude of places, but the restream was not working. So we're still on in YouTube land, but not on Twitter, not on Rumble, not on Twitch. That was supposed to be like the SummerSlam plethora streams, and it says offline for all of them. So whatever.
So it's SummerSlam, and you pulled a Kevin Nash. You tore your quad.
I tore my quad. My feed is down. Actually, I cut such a sick quad feed that it was a 420 no scope. Bam, baby, got my Predator missile coming for you.
I do love that Kevin Nash is out there just telling everybody that's being shitty to go fuck themselves.
It has been
It's been pretty gross.
Yeah, so many people, and I get it. You don't have to celebrate Hogan. That's fine, but you shouldn't celebrate that he's gone either.
And you shouldn't be canceling people for posting their own thoughts and well wishes and whatnot. And like, not that you should do it to anybody, but who the fuck is still targeting Chelsea Green?
Quite a few people, actually, sadly.
Like
why? I'm not sure, but it's
like she went and apologized. That guy, I don't know anything about the weightlifting world, but what Joey Swole or whatever that like canceled his show and canceled his social media and he got his pictures flagged on Instagram because he put pictures of himself when he was a kid in Hulk Hogan like merch.
Yeah.
And they started flagging him for like hate speech.
He basically apologized, saying like I should do better. And I'm like, once you succumb and bend the knee once, they're gonna make you do it every time.
But like, you put a picture up of yourself when you were a kid, and it's hate speech. It's like the Sydney Sweeney bullshit. It really is.
Hey, we all got good genes, that's for sure.
We all got good genes, and not all of us are walruses with purple hair.
Hey,
anyways, moving swiftly on
with the plugs.
It's like the women that made the T app.
Oh, that's a story and a half too.
Leaked. It's like, don't worry, guys. These are the women that think you're a piece of shit.
These are the ones that are out there getting revenge online, telling you not to date other. Don't date this man. He's evil. Swole is back. He posted a video like 2 days ago. Oh, well,
who was it? The singer that you were talking about before that got like a bunch of hate because like people quote unquote outed her as being straight. Like, all right, that shouldn't be a thing, but okay.
Yeah, I forget now.
Shouldn't,
but yeah.
Okay, let me be fair. Okay, before anybody
there's been so many of things like that.
Outing shouldn't be a thing either way. Let me be clear.
But
let me be clear.
Come on now. Were you excited for Cardi B tonight? I mean, that's where your mind should have been at, because thankfully it was quick.
What in the Tim Burton goth wedding was she doing?
That was an interesting get-up. She, as we saw earlier, looked I think it
Yes,
was
Joey,
JoJo
that's what I was
Siwa.
talking
Yes,
about.
yes, JoJo Siwa. That's the one.
I don't know anything about her, and I'm not dumping on her, by the way.
Oh,
I just think
I
it's
used
really,
to
really
watch
wild.
her because of Danny, you know, and Danny used to listen to all of her songs that she would put out, and she used to have those goddamn bows everywhere that kids would go nuts for and shit.
I just think it's wild that people are angry that somebody's straight, but you know, be whoever you are, but like also fuck off. Like,
she hated her, regardless.
all right. Hi, Danny.
You live, you learn, right?
Live and learn, and then get loves. Anyways,
and then just dad it up. I recall all of the kids, you know, media that once was, and you see the other day I saw they were having like a reunion for one of the Disney bands for the Lemonade Mouth thing, and I was like, there you go, that's a concert. You know, like all the Disney TV movies. Oh my God, they you know,
I don't know. So many such valuable TV channels out there are being canceled recently, and everybody's very sad. You know
why
what's not
society
sad?
sucks? Because there's no Full House for them. All right, Fuller House didn't work. They needed Danny Tanner and the real one. So
we need Bob Saget, the version of Bob Saget that we got in his stand-up, and everybody would fucking die.
It's like no kidding. Yeah, whenever I saw him talk about, you know, fucking a goat on the edge of a cliff, why? So it pushes back. You're like, Jesus, this man is not Danny Tanner.
You know what it is, though, right? No, like, and obviously we make fun of Full House as being like the #1 example of like a squeaky clean, like absolutely harmless, like sitcom from when we grew up, right?
Yes.
People that know me know that I grew up on Married with Children, which is a pretty rude show, which is a pretty rude show. Like, let's be real for a second, but also it was in a time. It was all, yeah, exactly. I still want one of those shirts. But it was a time where you could grow up and like watch something that was happening on a TV show, realize that it was just a TV show, and get on with your day. And when you said Fuller House, like when they did Fuller House, and then they did like this serious version of Fresh Prince for Netflix, which I didn't understand. And it was like, oh well, what if they brought back Married with Children? I'm like, do not do that. I will cry.
We redid Dangerous Minds, but with a white guy.
No. But specifically because Ed O'Neill went off and did other things, and Katie Seagal went off and did other things. Christina Applegate, David Faustino, all these actors from Married with Children are like still around and doing stuff. It's like, oh well, what if they revamped it? Wouldn't that be cool? I'm like, absolutely not.
It wouldn't work. Yeah,
because they would kill it. They would cut its balls off. You know,
as where South Park is out there saying Trump's got a tiny. I mean, if that's the truth,
South Park's out there killing it.
They got $1.5 billion, and they're like, fuck you for bending the knee, fuck your lawsuit, and fuck Trump. That was insane. Gotta love those guys. They have always stood on their laurels and morals. It is funny, though. Pico's right. Like, once JoJo got some D, like, she got some good D, she's like, oh, shit, I'm straight.
Yep.
Like, it just instantly.
I really do imagine.
Hold on, though. The really funny part, I have to point out the irony. All of that happened because Mickey Rourke said, are you really gay? And she said yes, and he didn't believe it. And he was like, I can turn you straight. He said to her, I can turn you straight. But he said, I could turn you straight, and she went ahead and wasn't even like overly offended, but the online discourse was, that man's terrible. He got canceled and removed from the show, and is it offensive? Maybe he made her a little uncomfortable, but he was trying to be funny. Regardless, he was
it's kind of a dickhead thing to say.
What was it, Rammy the Ram, or what? Rodney the Ram,
Randy
whatever.
Randy the Ram.
Randy the Ram. There we go. He was fucking right. All right. He knew that the cunt won't do. He said it.
I kind of imagine, like, if you're a kid and you were forced to grow up in a vegetarian household and somebody gave you steak for the first time.
Yeah.
That's a meat pun, ladies and gentlemen.
Like JoJo walked in.
The soul snatcher.
The soul snatcher. She walked out. What'd she say? 2 inches? No. I need 9. Up those numbers, boys. She had a little bit of fun in the house.
Those are amateur numbers. We need to get those numbers up.
She's like, everybody drop trowel right now. Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
JoJo Siwa takes 5 away.
No. You went the wrong way. You went the wrong way. You went with LA Knight. What you should have gone with is Roman Reigns right there. We need to acknowledge our tribal queef.
Oh, see? Oh no, this is queef.
This is
not Chief
absolutely
Queef.
not a wrestling
There we
show
go.
anymore.
I tried to stall as much as I could for Cody. I know he wanted to be here. We've had so many technical issues the last days. The SmackDown review got nuked into hell.
Oh no.
There was an update as the computer restarted, and it literally just didn't and then stopped doing. It was like, I'm done. So I replaced the ferret, and now it's working. So you know how the
back on the hamster wheel because the hamster wasn't working very well.
Yeah, it did. Oh
Nice.
no, the ferret was, the other one was dead. I forgot to feed it.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to be an adult for a second. This will be scary.
Uh-oh.
The place looked, in all seriousness though, for tonight, for
MetLife Stadium.
For the whole idea of we're gonna turn SummerSlam into what does Simon Miller call it? Hot WrestleMania.
Yes.
They haven't done too bad. Like, I know they didn't fill the whole building. They did bring the screen up a little bit, and it's obvious depending on like where you were watching from and whatnot. There was a couple times where they had their camera pointed right at the black spot, and I'm like, guys, don't do that. You're feeding the trolls. But other than that, they managed to make the place look like $1 million. It looked like they were stacked to the rafters.
This is Cody's footage, by the way, and you can see here. I mean.
Oh, he's face on with the stage.
Yeah, so he got to go ahead and see the pyro and everything nice, and because they had the pyro going off above that top part there, which is pretty cool. But
you know what they odd thing to land on first, but you know what they tackled really well. It's
the rest of the stuff?
It's harder to make effective pyro in the daytime because it's the daytime, and I don't think they did too badly.
And they didn't do much pyro early on. Like they didn't have the welcome to SummerSlam, unless I missed that.
Well, they
part.
did.
They did like the first initial, like
after Cardi B came out and did a bit of screeching in her weird Tim Burton dress.
Yeah.
They did the initial opening, but it was just the very bare bones basic. A couple of pyro stanchions on the.
That's
stage,
what I'm saying. It wasn't their usual like grandiose, gonna blow our budget all on pyro. Maybe because they're not. You know, where Night of Champions was, Mr. YouTube. I'm talking about
the only one that didn't look very good was when we'll talk about the matches when we get to the matches, but when the ladies won the tag titles and they were posing on the turnbuckles, it was the two turnbuckles facing the announce table position so that the stage would be behind them. But with the
where Cody was head on,
what do you call the central bit with the 4 screens around it? That was behind them as well. So there was pyro happening behind them, but the big center screen was in the way. Now that only affects us watching TV. I'm sure for people in the building it was fantastic, but it was just like they should have, like, not that everything has to cater to TV, but they should have gone to the hard cam side and then they could have looked to the left to see the pyro. But as far as the building itself, the building looked great. The sort of like the tiered what do you want to call it? We used to call it the Titantron. How it was done in strips and layers, and it was like it was almost looming over. I don't know why I'm making hand motions because you can't see me, but it wasn't just a flat screen. Which is what everybody thought it was going to be. Everybody that was seeing pictures earlier on in the week was like, oh good, they just brought the screen over from Saudi, and it's like, no, they did a little bit more. It wasn't.
You guys, Seth Rollins coming out. It's for the post-show podcast here, showing himself off to the crowd.
Hey, there you go. He's on the. What do you call it?
The post-show there.
The post-show podium, but Big E's there. Those guys fought over the NXT title back in the day. For those of you that subscribe to the NXT YouTube channel and have your episodes coming and popping up.
The bronze out there that lost. You know, so we were at East Rutherford, New Jersey's MetLife Stadium, as you said before, August 2nd, 2025, live on Peacock. This is your SummerSlam review info, folks. Cody will be here eventually with his first-hand take. It's Jake, a.k.a. Countdown Ended with Spaz Phoenix from the Spaz Phoenix podcast. Him and I do the State of Wrestling each week, so make sure you check out Spaz Phoenix podcast on YouTube and where all podcasts are found. He does some great takes on NXT, WWE, and we even do our yearly AEW What the F is this podcast, which was great. You can still check that out about All In before he heads to All Out in where?
Toronto, not in the dome. Not in the dome.
Yeah.
You think AEW is gonna fill the dome? You're joking.
That would be interesting, though. At one time, they probably could have. Now, I'm not so sure. Tonight, they had, what, 51,000? I think I have the numbers somewhere on my long sheet of notes.
Yeah, I have the projections for both nights, but this is
I know they announced it at some point. I think it's later in my I have so many tabs and notes open. So we had our first match underway. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso go ahead and team up to take on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Some people think, Liz included, that Braun Breaker was injured in this match. I'm not sure.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
I've heard it as well, but I don't have anything definitive. He's celebrating. He's out there now on the post show, walking and talking and being threatening. So it doesn't seem like it's anything like imminently threatening to him. Yeah. If it is an injury, it's not keeping him like where, oh, he's limping a bit, but is he selling? You never know with him. Like, God knows.
Well, here's the thing. Like,
look what Seth just did. How are we supposed to believe any of it?
But here's the thing, though, right? Like, as wrestling fans, and I'm not getting up on a podium. I'm way too tired for that shit. But like, we gotta stop looking at shit. Like, okay, things can be black and white, but it's not a case of, oh, he's fine, or oh, he's like broken his leg. Like, there's a lot of middle ground. Like, if he left that,
yeah.
There was a lot. This is what I said. I think I said this in our preview as well. Put the Braun and Braun match on first, so whatever they're doing, either later in the night or tomorrow, it gives them the most amount of space. It gets them out of everybody's mind by getting that match out of the way first. But also, he could have walked out of that match injured and then walked it off in the 5 hours that the show isn't supposed to be over yet. By the way,
no,
the show was apparently slated to go to 11, and we've been talking since before 10.
Exactly. So
I hope they add something for tomorrow, or it goes a little bit longer, because I do like a big show. Or put something on the kickoff. God damn, the kickoff was useless.
I know.
I was cooking and cleaning while the kickoff was on, but I did technically either watch or listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not a fucking thing, man.
Not really, sadly. So you know,
I'm not saying we need to start relegating things back to the kickoff, because that was a time where things were not so great. But if you're gonna have a kickoff, put something on it that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, exactly. Give us, some type of thing here. And
I'll tell you what I did do, because like WWE, we always say WWE, their production crew, they're always really good at video packages, right? I intentionally paused the pre-show when they got to talking about Punk and Gunther, because I didn't want to see the hype package. And then we saw the hype package for them later on in the night. And the first 2 seconds of that hype package made me laugh my ass off, because it was talking about like all the different summers of Punk. And the first one they say is 2005, I think. And it's a picture of Punk with the ROH title over his shoulder, but the picture's so fuzzy you can't see that it says ROH.
Exactly. So it was funny.
I thought that was like, go fuck yourself.
I think we got it. Look at this. I think we're streaming to Twitter. So
hey, hello,
excellent. And we're streaming not on Rumble, but hey, yeah, look at that. We got Twitter working. Let's go ahead and add that too. We're working on it, folks. We're building up. It's going strong in here. That's right. Authorize. Thank you so much for being the sexy co-host and filling the air while I was tinkering. That's why I hate doing this stuff alone. Gotta have you and Cody and whoever else joins us when Liz joins us and all the amazing people. It's a lot of fun. So I'm glad everybody's here to enjoy themselves. We got it working. Let's go. Jerome, that's right. Mr. Kincaid's in the chat. Shout out to you and everybody else that's joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that's watching us on X. It's nice to go ahead and be live talking about SummerSlam. So we're talking about the very first match of the show.
You got to go back and watch all the shit we just talked about that wasn't wrestling.
Yeah, we covered all the nonsense beforehand that is into somewhere. So we went ahead and
how about Triple H in the White House?
That was pretty damn funny. And of course,
he did the spit.
He not only did the walk in the spit, but he has to stand there while interviewers are grilling Trump about Epstein and other glorious questions, you know, and you got to hear Trump give like the worst PR disaster of answers ever to these questions. You know, I didn't have the privilege of you know, touching any of those young girls, but damn if I missed it. You know, like, no, Trump, you're privilege. What? No, like, oh, I always say that. It's a privilege, you know, so granted,
but you know what I love though? Okay, not that I'm falling on any side, obviously, because I'm always fair and I always see everything right down the middle.
yeah,
I love how all the people on the political spectrum that are mad that they lost can now team up with all the AEW fans on the wrestling spectrum that are also pissed off that they've lost because they're watching pictures of Triple H and Trump in the same room.
exactly, you know, and it's like,
yes, we get it. Winning makes you bad. We get it.
Sorry, I have my own set of problems. That's why we keep it non-political. But I had to point it out with Triple H being in the White House. The whole thing.
This
like,
is not me endorsing Trump. It's just
Yeah,
the patterns on social media seem to be very similar.
It was just funny though, seeing him sit there while they're like, you know, asking these serious Epstein questions, and Triple H just like side-eyeing, like
side-eye, shuffle.
And that's what it came down to. Michelle, get me.
Where's Michelle and Booker T?
They're both
Where's Kurt
mad.
Angle with the milk truck?
Oh, they got Becky Lynch reacting to Seth Rollins cash in. My mom sent me that. Look at that. Thanks, Ma. Always being a great supporter. Maybe I should let her go outside every now and again now. Fuck it. No. Look at that. Becky is one happy girl. She's celebrating like no other wife should. She's definitely given him a rim job tonight. Look at that. Mama is proud of daddy. Can't say I blame her. Seth is the new world heavyweight champion. And
use the big strap on tonight.
I'm shocked in a way that, not because I didn't see it coming, because I chose to willingly not agree that this is what was going to happen. Like, I was fighting it the entire time. I knew this would be the outcome, but I was like, no, he's hurt. And that sucks. I don't want him to be hurt, so I'd rather it not be the case. But this is so silly. It doesn't really make sense. Like, why do you need the element of surprise? Again, we'll get into it more. But Roman and Jay start off tonight. You had Roman trying to.
I'm gonna cut you off one more time.
Oh, please do. Before we get going,
because we all know I'm not a spiteful person at all. Keep everything on the level, right? The only high side I get from this, because we were talking a lot about specifically next year's WrestleMania.
High side.
And a lot of people think that, you know, Sammy's going to win the Royal Rumble. So who's going to win the Elimination Chamber and all that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we are not walking out of SummerSlam, I mean, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, the fact that we are not walking out of SummerSlam at the end of this weekend with Punk and Cody both being champions tells me we're going to get CM Punk and Cody fighting for a title. And I'm sorry, that match goes to WrestleMania.
Yeah, there's certain things that kind of feel like they need to or should happen. And it's not where it needs to be right now. I'm glad Seth's not injured. I will say that. That is a positive. I'm happy.
Yep.
I wish I was wrong.
It doesn't make sense, but it's an indicator that a real life individual with a real body and a real health to worry about is not okay. Like, and that,
yeah.
The sad thing is, like, I'm not saying we're dicks for looking at the storyline side of things. I don't think that makes us selfish and all that. But
no,
the largest
that's
headline,
what wrestling needs, or else you're just having matches, and then we're back to AEW. Although they've been doing better with things, it's still few and far between with some of these storylines. And now suddenly they have to eject MJF from the Hurt Business because it's been a week too long. So
I don't have the energy tonight.
I'm not going to bait you into that.
But what I'm saying is, like, we can have all the and we have, you and I have done it on here and a lot more on my podcast where you come over and make me look good. It's true, but no, but we talk a lot about the story. Like, oh, I hope it's not a work. I hope this is this. I hope that is that. The overarching headline should be coming out of tonight, going into tomorrow morning. Seth Rollins isn't injured.
Yeah.
Or at least he's not injured anymore. Like, and I can't hate that. And like I say, the execution that we got tonight, I didn't hate. It just means something we saw a while ago doesn't make sense in retrospect.
Exactly.
And that's not the worst thing in the world, and I'm going to be overtaken by the fact that somebody's doing okay. The other thing is to, as much as, and I popped, and I'm going to keep using this expression because I really like it, print Coca-Cola on my forehead because I was a pop machine when CM Punk won the title.
Yeah.
And if
I
he
was
won the
super
title tonight and walked
excited.
out, I would have been fine. There's another part of me that's like, okay, I know we're really trying to make the world heavyweight title a thing. Rollins did a good job. Jay did a good job in a very different way. Gunther does a good job in a really different way. If I see CM Punk coming back and becoming champion, in my head, it's for the championship.
It's,
you know what I mean?
The title, exactly.
The undisputed title and whatever. And I'm sorry, right now, if we
did win the title, it happened to Drew, shades of Drew for Punk, they both went through the same thing. I actually think Drew had a minute and some odd seconds longer.
Well, the cool thing about the Drew thing is he could have taken the title and fucked off.
Yes.
The only reason he was still there and able to be cashed in on was because he stuck around to fuck with Punk on commentary.
Exactly.
So that came to bite him in the ass himself. My thing is right now is if we're looking forward to WrestleMania next year, I think people want to get Royal Rumble out of the way for obvious political reasons. But I think right now, if your two main events for next year's Royal Rumble for next year's WrestleMania are Sammy dethroning Seth Rollins and Punk versus Cody, and I don't really care who the winner is.
Yeah.
That's not a bad,
it's not a bad card. No, but here's the thing right now. If we have to look at the here and now, and I really don't have much of an interest in Seth and Punk anymore. I feel like that has been done to death because since Punk returned, they've been at each other's throats. They've had multiple matches. He's been involved as a special guest ref at one point. Like Seth and him have had their paths crossed forever. Seth said, I wouldn't let you win the title, but Punk won it. And he took it away from him. He wouldn't let him keep it, but he didn't say, I wouldn't let you keep it. He said, I wouldn't let you win it. So he didn't keep his promise, but night 2 is doing the heavy lifting. We kind of had that thought, Jelly Roll did very well tonight. That table spot, I thought Jelly Roll was going to move out of the way. No, he took that and he took the brunt of that. Logan landed hard on him and he got the wind knocked out of him in that spot legit. You could hear him go, I felt bad for Jelly Roll there. I'm like, I know you're getting a lot of money, and I didn't know that Bunny Girl was his wife, but makes sense.
It looks like to me when they did the table spot, because I know we almost picture things in wrestling like a video game because they form together very similar.
Yeah.
Typically, when somebody's on a table, you're lying on the table, you fall crossways on the person because the person is lined up at the table. He wasn't. He was perpendicular to the table.
He was like standing up, which made me think he was going to get out of the way. But no, Logan went sideways so he could give him like the widest spear.
But it meant Logan had to land flat on the table. And I think it looked to me, and I didn't go back and rewatch it, and I wasn't like, I'm not sitting there with a microscope looking for, did he hurt himself? Did he hurt himself? I'm looking at the spot for the spots.
We rewatched it, and it looked painful.
Like Jelly looked winded. Logan looked like, because if you land crossways on a table, your head and hands are kind of free, and your legs are kind of free. It's only really your middle. So like your legs and your face hitting the table isn't typically a thing. It looked to me for a split second like he had his bell rung, like as the person doing the move. I hope that's not true, obviously.
No, I hope not either. But really quickly, I'll pull it up for you guys here. You can see, you'll see my my media for a second till I move that out of the way. There we go. Look at that. Biff, bam, boom. This was one hell of a spot. I mean, this really was nuts. Look at this. In slow-mo. Oh, yeah. That's
As you
really
like him doing
slow.
the Austin pose with the prime bottles.
That's really slow. That was too slow. Let's go ahead and let's go back. Right here. Go through it. Here we go. I mean, that hurt. Like you said, he came through the air there and then managed to go ahead and just completely go horizontal, align himself with the table. And the way Jelly Roll had to kick up his legs and kind of push himself back to not only take the back bump, but then to slide backwards with it. Watch his head, right? His head goes into the bottom.
Yeah, the back of the table collapses and the front doesn't. I think the more they go on about our indestructible commentary tables, like the more I'm thinking, okay, just grab one from under the ring. It's fine.
Get the Slim Jim table
Like the
out
more,
of there.
but the more like, and I'm not concerned trolling, like that's not a thing we need to do, but like the more complicated you make the apparatus, the more there is to go wrong.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
a simple folding table in wrestling is classic. You can't outdo a classic. I'm not
Here's
gonna lie.
Logan Paul's view, by the way. I'll show it to his perspective that we had here tonight. So let's go ahead and check this out. You ready? He toasts the Prime, and look, that is so cool.
Is that what he had, the sunglasses or whatever?
Yep, he had the
nice.
actually
I didn't know that.
One of the bands that I talked to, they went ahead and got those same glasses, and you can record like live footage, and it sounds incredible. And look how crystal clear! Like that's nuts that this technology is that advanced at this point.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought he was just like. I mean, a lot of people I was talking to just thought like, oh, he just put on shades because he's a douche. Like.
No,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know that was the point that he was doing that. So,
okay,
it was
well because I think they figured out that
the
stuff that he's tried to do with the drone in the past has been a little like they've been good ideas, but the execution has been a little hit and miss.
Yeah, and we were doing a nice thing on Twitter. So there was this girl, Emily, that was celebrating her 23rd birthday. So everybody from the wrestling universe was going out and saying happy birthday to her. So there's the original tweet. Milo, my pup, sent her a nice little happy birthday earlier. He posed on the couch after getting his tub, getting sand up every crevice at the beach. So he dug and dug and dug his way into my heart. That's my good boy.
Aww.
So cute. But I said happy birthday from Milo. So hopefully she's having a happy birthday, and you can go ahead and send her a nice little happy birthday from the wrestling universe. So go ahead and follow the link in the chat. Thank you, folks.
We might be dickheads, but it is kind of cool to see the community doing some good shit every now and then.
I love those little moments, certainly. Yeah. Apparently the MLB's having a hell of a night tonight with the Braves and Reds playing at Bristol Motor Speedway, and the fields are just mud central. 53,161 people tonight. Excellent. Talk about a sellout. I don't believe Jelly Roll's done either. No. This opening match, Spaz, Roman and Jay, like we started to say, had some really good offense. It obviously always built to the big spots on the outside, the spears, breaking down the barricades, the clotheslines. A lot of it was as you would picture it. If I told you, what would you think a match between these four would be? This is exactly the match that I envisioned, minus the ending. I really thought the Bronze would end up winning. I feel like they should have won. I feel like they needed it, especially at this point in time. We were to believe Seth is injured. These guys feel like they had no idea or what direction to head in now. They're lost without their leader, Seth, and now they're worthless without him because they're losing. Two big, behemoth, young, hungry beasts can't beat Roman and Jay. And it was like, damn. And I know you want to put Roman over, but they could have pinned Jay here without it really hurting Jay.
The way they ended it, and it was the first of two sort of tag team can they get along stories tonight, and they ran those matches back to back. The way they made the ending of the match not about their opponents. They made the ending of the match about like how much Roman has Jimmy's back. Now that Seth is back and they're back to being a trio, prediction, probably in Paris. You're going to get Seth added in. You're going to get Jimmy added in. They're going to run this back as a trios match. And that doesn't hurt my feelings, really.
Yeah. I figured if not Jimmy, then definitely Punk or... I don't know if Jimmy will be involved, honestly. I think it'd be more... Because originally it was supposed to be a 6-man tag at SummerSlam. That was what we were reporting at that point in time. It was going to be Seth and the Bronze taking on Jay, Roman, and Punk. Punk ends up taking on Gunther because Seth's injured, Dr. Evil style. 1 million, you gotta...
Well, the reason I like that match a little bit more, it's more for the sake of Jimmy, and like they've been a little muddy with the draft recently, so it's not that much of a stretch to say, hey, you know, go.
They've been less finite with where people have landed and how they have to stay.
I'm fine with.
Yeah, granted,
like,
but
people that are complaining, like, oh, how come Chelsea's showing up on Raw now? It's like, has she bombarded the show? Has she changed anything on the show? She's just having some matches with some different people, and like she's there with her group to be a pain in the ass group. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, because there were some really great moments in this match with Roman coming through and saving Jay on more than one occasion. So first, Breaker gets to the floor and Roman gets him with the Superman punch. Of course, he laid out about, I think, 300 Superman punches, but he spears him through the barricade. Braun Breaker's laid out. This is awesome chants ringing out from everywhere. People, they're excited. And then Bronson Reed goes up, but he gets hit with a Superman punch, gets knocked down. That tower four-way that they did, that spot was incredible. I would definitely say to watch this match. I mean, Roman and Jay go for the 1D, end up hitting it on Bronson. That was a really cool moment. And they get the pin, but Braun Breaker breaks it up, and then he comes in. You think that he's going to go ahead and he just starts beating on Jay, but as soon as he pulls the straps of the singlet down, he pulls him up, pulls him back down, and I was like, okay. He goes for the spear, but Roman shoves
Breaker looks
Jay
like he's
out of the
glitching
way.
mid-match.
Yes, he was like, no, all right, I already did that. Sorry. And
when he does that, like, neck cracked from side to side, and it's just like you're like trying to. It's like the dude from Men in Black, like when you got the alien inside the dude that's trying to get out. It's like there's an alien trying to get out.
My skin suit. Got any sugar?
Give me a paperclip.
Yeah.
It's a bit loose. It's Lizzo.
Michelle.
Oh, wait, not anymore.
Oh, sorry, wrong voice.
You pissed off Booker T.
You and your draft picks.
Oh, no.
Can we give some props to Seth's medical team and his intense rehab? Yeah, Pico. Whoever he's seeing, I need to see on Friday. I am not looking forward. I've had so many surgeries. I'm not nervous about going under. I'm not nervous about the surgery itself. I'm not nervous about being in pain. I just don't want to not be able to walk for 10 fucking weeks minimum. That sucks. So,
and now for a quick word from Blue Chew.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. You know, between that and Percocet, I'll find a way. But I'm gonna be streaming a lot, so you guys are gonna have to deal with me and my insanity being trapped in this living room. Thank you to all, you know, multiple dozens of you on Twitter watching right now. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit the follow button for more. We're going to try and be live on Twitter each time we're live on YouTube as well as Twitch. Getting those numbers in. We're working on it, trying to hit 10K.
Get in the chat and help Jake keep his sanity.
That's right. We're on our road to 10K on the YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed over there. Jake, Countdown, and DeMarco. And tomorrow night, I'm trying to work on having live calls, which would be cool to go ahead and hear from some of you. So stay tuned to see if it works. We're trying some things out. But thank you to everybody tuning in.
Two cool things I want to say about this match.
Please, yeah, because I want to know positive takes.
Number one, I love that Bronson Reed came into this match with the biggest chip on his shoulder of anybody else in the match, because I think he kind of realizes that this match was kind of like, oh my God, 3 main eventers and Bronson's here too.
Yes.
Bronson does kind of feel like he's there. Like Braun Breaker's the star, and when he needs to do a tag match, Bronson's his tag team partner.
Bronson felt more menacing and more threatening when he was tsunamiing Braun Strowman on a car. Now he just feels like a too heavy big boss man. Like he should be threatening, but
he stole Roman's shoes.
He keeps losing. That's something.
The other thing,
I mean, the shoe
that
was cool.
The other thing that I like in this match is they're telling us we're getting a Breaker Roman match at some point.
Yeah.
But Braun Breaker, every time he went for the spear on Roman Reigns, it was countered with a Superman punch.
Yeah.
The only time Roman took the spear was when he was taking it for Jay.
That's right.
At the end of the match. And
I thought, Jay, I'll take it for you. I'll take all of it.
Oh my God. But I think from a storytelling point of view, from the like remnants of the bloodline sort of
it was good to see him finally atone for something and do something for Jay. Yes.
Exactly. But not only that, like, in other words, unless I'm distracted by protecting my family member, I've got your number with the spear.
My brother's about to die.
That's a cool story.
The Jeff Hardy.
Oh my god. Oh,
I know they had the Edge, the Adam Copeland recently at All In, where he had to get all of his pyro in. They're like, should I break his fucking neck with this concerto? No,
where they thought he was really clever with the go find
Tell me you
yourself.
saw the concerto they delivered to Christian. Did you see it?
I've seen the clip.
Oh my God, boys. They needed to have someone in the truck clue them in to not air it that angle or something, but they showed
you know
how the cookie was made there and they let it crumble.
We've got another tangent moment, right?
Yes.
What do you think? If I call out that spot looks really stupid, what do you think the response is online? What, do you want somebody to actually get decapitated? And it's like, no, find a way to fake it where it looks good or do something else.
Film it from the side so you only see the chairs connect. The rest is
don't show the
illusion
that Chris Jericho's
injury.
landing on.
Yes, you don't show them clearly missing and just tapping the tips. They tap tips.
Oh my God. Anyways, but no, getting back to the Roman thing for a second. I like this, like, obviously the whole I'm gonna take a finisher for my cousin is the end of the story, but in the middle of the match, the story is ha ha ha, you've got the spear, I've got the counter for the spear. Keep that in mind when you and I fight.
Yeah.
So it's either gonna be one time where he spears Roman's fist and breaks his fist, which sounds dumb, or it's gonna be like, okay, I've taken the bullets out of that gun, what else have you got?
So when do we get this 6-man tag? Clash in Paris, or do they wait for TakeOver Perth? Look at that. Jelly Roll.
I'm really happy
hugging
for that
with
guy,
Triple
man.
H. I mean, Triple H is right. He said right here, never underestimate, where determination will take you. He lost a bunch of weight. He got healthy. That was brilliant. It was great.
Supposedly he came in under the, what was it? He wanted to be under the 300, what he said in the interview there.
Yeah.
He said, they showed a clip, like they showed the entire Jackie Redmond interview with him, and then they showed a clip of the Stephanie McMahon interview with him.
Yes.
So he got a lot of coverage on the kickoff, and the one thing he said was, I haven't been under 300 pounds since I was a teenager. When I walk into MetLife Stadium will be the first time since then that I've been under 300. And I think he literally came in at 299.
Yeah, right.
Like,
so
the last weigh in before the show.
Zeroing
like,
in.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah,
I go
talk
back
about
to it,
tapping
like,
the tips.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I go back to it
No,
though,
it's
like
candy.
you and I aren't like small guys. Like it's a thing, right?
It's a thing. I mean,
like I've been various sizes. I look like a pile of laundry on my best day.
Not to ever be the one to outdo you, but I've been people difference. I've had multiples.
But the old William Regal.
I've gained and lost use.
Yeah, fucking hell. No, but there's the old William Regal thing of like,
I'm trying to find where I'm at my heaviest.
Yeah. Well, that banana clip of you with what's his face telling you off there.
Oh yes, that's
there's the old William Regal expression that I used to love is like, look, I know I'm no prize. I kind of look like a pile of undone laundry, right? We get that most days, right? But like to do what he did, like
that
even
bastard.
from like just from like seeing him on TV, like when he came out a year ago to chokeslam Austin Theory, to when he came out to sing, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Like, holy fuck, man.
Yes.
Like,
he sounds
happy?
Yes. Elated?
He sounds happy.
Jubilant?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. No, he sounds very positive and it makes me feel good. So
yeah. Like I first heard about him when I don't even know what awards show it was, but he won like New Artist of the Year and he had like just turned 40 or something like that. And he had the big like motivational thing. And, some of it people shit on because he was talking about like spiritual stuff and whatnot, but it's like, fuck off. It's his own life. But it's like, it's, I don't want to get sappy, but like, it's a beyond, it's a beyond wrestling thing.
Exactly.
Like,
so
the guy wanted to do something and like the guy wanted to do something and he did it.
Yeah.
Like there's no simpler happy story, and it didn't fall apart.
Yeah, no, it was holding together, holding strong. So makes you happy to know that hey, he did well tonight. He sold his ass off, and if anything, even if he couldn't wrestle well, Jelly Roll sold really well.
But he knows how to even if he doesn't know how to bring the fight yet. He knows how to exist in the story of the fight.
Exactly.
And
He
that's the
knew
bigger part of it.
when to sell more, when to pause and wait. All right, soak up the crowd's reaction. Now walk towards the tag spot. Now let the trainers get off you. Now, you know, come back. He did a great job. So
what
what's
most
going on,
wrestlers would
Daniel
call,
son? Hope you're doing well. You're
what
going
most
tomorrow.
wrestlers would call
Awesome. Have fun
boring
at night
basics.
too. Yeah,
What most
boring.
wrestlers would call boring basics, but like
Granted.
it's his first time, so we're going to be looking for, like, does he have the basics? Does he have something to build on? Is he going to come back and do more?
Jelly Roll wasn't going
And
to be Stephen Amell. He wasn't going to go in there doing, you know, springboard moonsaults and being able to jump off the top rope, but he didn't disappoint either. For a big guy
but
that had
here's the
lost a
thing
ton
though
of
as
weight
well.
and had
Here's
all
the thing
that on
though
his
as well.
knees, he did it.
Stephen Amell was like, I'm not saying he's small because the guy's in way better shape than me. Pretty
Yeah.
much everybody is, but like he was made to be a certain kind of wrestler, and obviously liked high flying wrestlers, and you know, the whatever you want to call, like, the modern style or whatever. But like, let's go back a second
Yeah.
to like your Bam Bam Bigelows and your Big Boss Men and like people like that. They wouldn't do what Stephen Amell does. I'm not going to say
No.
that makes Stephen Amell a better wrestler.
No,
Like the
granted.
fact that
I get the semantics argument because
I
it's
could do
all, yeah, you could
I
do
could do without
without.
the choke slam, because a lot of people use the choke slam as just, oh, I'm a bigger person, I should do a choke slam.
But you know
But
what?
when
That
he
choke slam was far, far better than who else did a
no,
choke slam recently? And I was like, God, that was bad. But this was far better than what I have seen most people do recently. And Logan sold his ass off as well. He leapt up super high. Yeah, there was a
but a
recent
choke
choke slam,
slam
and I was like, God, that looks like
for
shit.
yeah, a choke slam for
It'll come
larger
back.
people is becoming like a super kick for the smaller guys,
Yes.
where you go with something, and it's not new either. Like a side slam is not,
The
you
big
know,
boot.
breaking any side slam, big boot, shoulder barge. Like, you're like, he's lost a bunch of weight, but he's still a big guy. Do
Yes.
big guy stuff. A lot of the even the celebrities, like the Logan Pauls and the Bad Bunnies and the Pat McAfees, and have all come in and done like their version of a smaller, high flying, I'm going to do a spot guy.
Yeah.
Be the celebrity that represents that other kind of wrestling.
There's multiple times a year, probably 3 times a year, that I still go back and watch the Bad Bunny match from Puerto Rico and they did Backlash there.
Oh, with Priest?
Yeah. Just
Oh,
because
over-delivered
of,
like crazy.
yeah, just it's so much fun. I love his entrance. I'm not even like a music fan of, you know, Bad Bunny or
That
anything,
style,
but
yeah.
you know, Chimbella, the fucking crowd is like a concert. They're going nuts. That was like one of the biggest responses we had seen up to that point since
But this is
COVID
the
shut
great
everything
thing about
down.
this, right? Like, I'm not particularly a country person.
Yeah,
right?
no,
But like, I
Jelly Roll
listened,
delivered.
if he didn't show up on WWE, I probably wouldn't listen to. I went and found like 1 or 2 of his songs. They're not bad, right? But he's got a response. He's tapped into an audience. Your example of Bad Bunny, right,
Yes.
is not like, I don't live in Puerto Rico. Like, let's be real for a second. I live in Toronto. We put the chamber in the dome. It's fine. It's not my kind of music. He was, but it's, you don't need it to be your thing to
Granted,
see
yeah.
somebody like outside of like what it is, wrestling, music, acting, whatever. When you see a star with their people, you can, it's undeniable, and it doesn't have to be your thing.
Yeah, no
It's like
doubt.
I said, it's like I said, the whole, I go back to AEW. I say I don't get the Hangman Page thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't like the Bucks, but I get it. You see the Bucks show up on an AEW show, that's them doing their thing for their people, as small as
Exactly.
that group is.
You're not
Whereas
wrong.
Hangman, I just don't get it, right? But like Bad Bunny, I'm watching him on a wrestling show. I don't have to like his music,
No.
but I'm watching a wrestling show with an audience full of his people that do like his music and want to see what he can do in the ring.
Exactly.
And
It's
eventually that
infectious.
excitement becomes you took the words right out of my mouth.
I knew what you were gonna say. All these years, I could read you like an open burger.
Nice.
That's right.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It must have been
I
when you
can't
were
tell.
kissing
I'm
me.
Jelly Roll is better than Snooki.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Jenna, Jay Leno, and Dennis Rodman. I wouldn't go as far as say he's better than Johnny Knoxville. Knoxville and Sami Zayn killed it, and that was a lot of Sammy. But
again,
I
this
loved
is the conversation I was having with
loved
a
it.
buddy of mine,
Yes.
right? Who's sort of an in and out wrestling fan. I'm not going to mention his name in case he doesn't want me to mention it, but like
you can say it's Chat GPT. All right,
it's
continue.
No, buddy of mine does MMA in his real life. Like that's his sport of choice, right? And also he knows I'm the wrestling guy. He's watching the wrestling. Oh, he tuned in and he's like, oh, I'm gonna watch the what do you call it? The Wrecking Machine or whatever the Rock's new movie is.
Yes.
And we got talking about. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm watching SummerSlam. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, because we just saw the ad on SummerSlam. But we're talking about the whole celebrity thing, and everybody's got their own take on it, right? But like, oh, it starts getting really bad when WWE starts bringing all these celebrities in. I'm like, you mean like they did at WrestleMania 1? Like,
I've been thinking about trying to get right. It wasn't
as common, but there's not a time in wrestling that didn't have celebrity.
Everyone wants to try and be right. Everyone wants trying to be on the right side of history. But like you said, when you look back and how celebrities have been involved, most of them haven't worked great. And
it's true, but they've found
but they have found their way to get a certain type of celebrity that loves or grew up watching wrestling, or at least is a fan of it, so they get the
But the entire
strokes.
point of this, like, there's a rivalry obviously with Orton and Drew McIntyre. Anybody that sees Logan Paul is going to boo Logan Paul. None of that mattered tonight. Tonight was all about 3 other guys in the ring making Jelly Roll look good. Because we're showing you this guy that's got this really cool real life sort of redemption story type thing. And Jelly Roll's taking a stab at this whole wrestling thing. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Whatever the kayfabe that got us here is, the real story is Jelly Roll's going to try and have a wrestling match. Let's see how it goes.
He wants to go ahead and
you go back to the Johnny Knoxville thing, right?
Yeah.
Was that meant to be taken as a serious match?
I don't know. I wondered that as well, and that's kind of the thing. And I read TSS2 wrong. I am not with my glasses, and I'm also a drunk idiot. So he said that no, he put Jay Leno, Johnny Knoxville, Dennis Rodman in the mid category. He said Jelly Roll is at least better than Snooki, Jenna Morasco. I agree. And we'll talk about the cross match, but you're not wrong. There was that certain section of fans that love Jelly Roll. There was the fans that know of him, and then there's the some that are like, okay, I don't know him, but I'll give it a try. And I felt like that was the majority versus those being like, oh, forget this guy. All the crowd was into it. They were there. They knew what they were going to see. They wanted to have fun, and they were behind Jelly Roll and Randy, which was cool. And I'm happy that he lost, believe it or not, because a celebrity really shouldn't be beating 2, full-time roster members realistically.
Yeah, let's get off the idea that Logan Paul is just a celebrity at this point.
No, he's a full-time roster member, and he's much as you want to dog the guy, he is great at this wrestling thing. He's done very well. I think the fact
that they had like Logan Paul as an outsider thing, but it was like in the Outsiders Hall and Nash font out in the crowd. But I think the whole idea of him coming out and calling Jelly Roll an outsider, and it's supposed to be ironic because people still see Logan Paul as an outsider, but that irony doesn't work because he's not. He's on the roster. He's an ex-US champion.
Exactly.
But I think it's a weird thing, though, in a sense, because you want to put this match in good hands for this guy who's having his first big outing. So you think Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, there's your good hands, for not to make a TNA pun.
Yeah.
But in a very different way, I think it had to be helpful to have Logan Paul in there, in the sense of like, he's the most recent and the most successful. I've done all these other things and now I'm going to try wrestling.
Yeah.
So from an experience point of view, I bet there's some commonality between him and Logan Paul. Take what people think of Logan Paul out of it for a second. But like, he knows what it's like Ronda Rousey buddied up really quickly with Kurt Angle during her first run, because they came from combat sports to WWE, so she went to somebody who would know what that transition is like. Logan Paul has done 100 other things.
And Logan's a hell of an athlete.
Maybe not even like-minded, but he just came from other worlds and is now trying to exist in this one,
Kurt understands what it was like for then.
So I think Logan Paul being in that mix with Randy and with Drew as the ones pulling Jelly Roll through this match was good, because Randy Orton grew up with it literally in his family. Drew McIntyre has been wrestling as long as I can remember now. They don't have the experience of being an outsider. You get what I mean?
No, I get that.
You need somebody in there that understands it.
You need somebody that gets it, and that's where the MMA comes in, and that whole, back experience. I've been trying to, focus in on my training too. That's why I've been doing MMA, so it's the Middletown Meth Addict Association. But,
oh dear.
Yeah.
Side note, do you think it is fair to put Logan Paul in the Miz category? In the sense of, like, when Miz came over, nobody took him seriously because, it's just this reality TV guy.
Yeah.
And reality TV in these days is kind of replaced by social media.
You're onto something. Yeah, no, I could see it being a correlation directly between the two of how they entered and what they had done beforehand. They were both social media famous, but neither one had been wrestling famous or done any wrestling really. So it was all to get into a new endeavor for them. And he literally thought the ring was like padded the first time he got in it. He's like, this is hard. Like, he couldn't believe that they were bumping on concrete, basically. So
yeah.
I really want to say, because we skipped around a bit, but the opening match was a hot tag match. Cody's been making me give things star ratings, so I would give the opening 3.5 stars. I feel like that's fair. I really like some of the spots here, but I hate how they really held down the Bronze. I feel like they really needed the win here, especially with, at this point in time, their mentor was not yet revealed to be around. It just makes them feel like lackeys than an actual threat. The fact that they continually can't get the job done together, they should be, I mean, individually, they were unstoppable. Bronson Reed was destroying every big man and, blowing up car windows and destroying tables. And Braun Breaker held the IC title and was wrecking shop. And it's like, now they're together and they can't buy a win, it feels like. Or at least one that matters.
I get that. I get that, but... And you're not.
They're not
like this,
buried.
They're
They're not done for. But they certainly have been devalued. Their stock is down, especially as any type of credible villain. I view them as lackeys to Seth more than I view them as a threat and second or third in command, or even those to be the next in line to be the next, heir apparent. We don't have that feeling. I don't feel like Braun Breaker right now is anywhere near becoming the next it guy. As we're a couple weeks ago, it seemed like Seth was grooming him to become that, but
I'm going to give you two answers, and you're not going to like
the
either.
Wrong way,
right? I'm going to give you two answers. You're not going to like either one of them. First of all, yes, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were killing people individually.
Yes,
Bronson Reed was destroying Braun Strowman, who is big and strong and a fixture and an attraction and all that, but he's basically Big Show now that we don't have the Big Show anymore.
Yeah,
it's you beat the Big Show before you go on to your next thing. Braun Breaker, yes, came in, yes, was IC champion, was the double NXT champion for a bit, and then started ripping shop and became the IC champion, and went with Jay singularly over the IC title for a little bit. You're not gonna like this. They kicked ass with a bunch of people. They're now in the ring with Roman. And Roman is still Thanos.
And that's the problem. Roman is just...
And that's... If... They're gonna... Braun Breaker is...
I didn't think they would pin Roman, but I thought they'd pin Jay here, honestly. I genuinely thought...
But here's the thing, though. I say, Braun Breaker and Roman are going to have a singles match at some point. Breaker is going to pin Roman when it's just Breaker and Roman. I don't think you give him, a halfway victory with a victory that's a tag match. The second point of it is you say they still feel like lackeys to Roman Reigns. They don't feel like the big guys on their own just yet. When Braun Breaker breaks out on his own, pun intended, Bronson Reed may or may not be left in the dust. We have to see how that goes, right?
Yeah.
But they have to not that this means they had to lose tonight. In general, they have to feel like lackeys to Seth Rollins, because the moment that Breaker specifically breaks out of being Seth Rollins' lackey, if we didn't feel that lackeyness beforehand, him breaking out of it won't be a moment.
See, but there's less of like Lackey and more to like, stacks and, being second in command kind of idea. That's what I'm looking for with Braun Breaker. We're not getting that though. He just feels like, hey, you're one of the team, one of the guys. I'm also worried now.
And he's going to have a stand-up moment where he breaks out of that.
Maybe. I mean, there's going to be something,
but to have a stand-up moment, you have to be standing up out of something. If we see him as level with Seth Rollins right now, him walking away from Seth Rollins doesn't mean as much.
Level isn't where I wanted him. I just wanted him to be elevated. That's the thing. I wanted him to be at least a step closer to being the next in line. You know what I mean? A step closer to being the next in line to be the next person.
Bubbling closer to the surface.
Yes, exactly. Elevate him.
That's fair.
But a lot now with this Seth Rollins ruse, the swerve of the decade, because we haven't had any great swerves recently, right? What do you think about tomorrow at this point? Did John Cena really become his old self again? Can you tell how tired I am? Or is he luring Cody Rhodes into a trap at SummerSlam? So we had a lot of people vote in the poll on Twitter, and the majority of fans, by a slim margin, 53.8% said it's a ruse. Heel Cena reigns supreme. And 46% said real Cena is back. So what are you thinking? I've got to know.
I'm not necessarily hankering for the double turn that a lot of people have been talking about. I mean, you can do it. I'd be curious about it and all that kind of thing. People talk about like when Cody was over with the other company in the Codyverse, and he was never really heel, never really face, and it drove everybody nuts and whatever. The only thing that I will see is the black and white photo that was passed around all day today.
Yeah.
And it's him carrying that whatever you want to call it, like that Skeletor helmet, but it looks like a silver one, and it's got like cracks in the design of it, which makes it look a little bit more like
a little more badass.
Yeah, I want him to come up
a little bit more of an
evil
streak. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. So hold on.
I with the passing that we had this past week, I would kind of love, like, not an identical thing, but some kind of like ring gear or whatever reminiscent of the NWO.
Yeah,
like some black and white. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. There's another one where he's carrying it behind him and he's barely got it. Like he's carrying it.
I just wanted to get a better shot. Yeah, I just want to get a better shot of the mask. So this one shows it more clearly. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew.
I'd love to see heel Cody, but it's going to be hampered the same way. Oh, I can't believe I'm making this comparison because I do not like Naomi. It's going to be hampered by Cody fans that are not ready to boo him yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think he turns heel? I'm not so sure. He said there's just too much of a connection with the people. He doesn't want to turn heel, but is that a ruse? What are we getting here? We don't know for sure.
What's the thing Daniel Bryan always says whenever they ask Daniel Bryan if he's ever going to wrestle again? He's like, well, I'm going to tell you no. But like my favorite thing is lying. Cody Rhodes taught me how to lie.
He's not wrong. Not wrong at all.
I don't know. Like here's the thing. Like we've talked about it before. Like I wasn't really a Cody guy, not just when he was in AEW, but when he first came to WWE, I thought he hijacked the bloodline story from the much more deserving person, which was Jey Uso. But that's just me. Nobody's going to agree with me on that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with Cody the way he is right now. Obviously, like he calls back, but he does present himself like that as well. Him being like the hood ornament of the company right now works, and he looks like, you know, for better and worse, like he was the only one on SmackDown that actually was put in a position to say some words about like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like put in that awkward position of like, okay, how do we handle this?
What do we say? What's the proper way to handle and navigate this? As we see CM Punk celebrating with the world title, footage brought to us by the one, the Oniti, Cody Oniti 316. Judgment Day era was there in person. He said he called it. So did Liz. So did so many. Seth Rollins coming out with the crutches at the end there, goes ahead and listen to this place go nuts. Totally crazy.
Anyways, no, like as far as the Cody thing, like I don't don't know. Like, he seems like he's just found his spot, like, as the hood ornament guy. I don't think he needs to turn heel, but at the same time, I'm very curious as to what it would be like. So
I think
I'm
he's
literally
teasing it. I think he's teasing it, but he's not actually going to go heel. But imagine if he did, this would be the time to do it. I could see him. They both hug. Cena's finally back to being the good guy. They hug, and then Cody's face turns. I mean, that's kind of where it seems like it would happen. You know, kicks him in the nuts, kind of thing.
And it would be justified in a way because he pushed himself to the point of being in a hardcore match where technically there's no such thing as a bad guy move. Like, to have all the things happened to him that Cena's done, and then Cena randomly comes out on SmackDown and has this revelation, and everybody loves him again.
Yeah, everybody's just like, hey, let's do this.
You could see Cody Rhodes coming out from a point of like, nah, like, fuck you, guy. You do all this shit to me, and then you come out and have this epiphany and let everybody love you again. No, it's not going to go down like that.
Exactly. Like, there's more to it, but
it sounds cheesy, but like, for a good guy, and I see a very similar thing happening with Sami Zayn somewhere along the way, where they snap and they just go into it for themselves, and the mentality is like, what the fuck did being a good guy ever get?
All right, well, we're already out of order, so let's go ahead. We'll skip ahead, and we'll come back to the women's tag. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross. This was a bit of a mess to me. I don't know what they were going for here. The match was slow, and Kross can have some exciting bouts. To me, this was just not it. There were a few moments, you know, the teasing of the Blue Thunder Bomb and avoiding it. For him, you know,
the least devastating move in all of sports entertainment.
Exactly.
Shout out Simon Miller.
Finally, you know, Scarlett is like, oh, here's the lead pipe. I wish he used it, because it's baffling that he didn't. And I know he wants to come across as that good guy. So now Kross has to say that, you know, he was wrong. And I was hoping that Sami would have done something to make Kross right, because what do we get from here? Where does it go? How is it interesting? I don't want to see them face off again. Like, it's done for me now. Now what's up with Kross? This is boring. Why have him lose? And it's not just, oh, this is my guy, I want him to win. Like, it made sense for him to win here. I'm okay with him losing if it makes sense, but why did he lose then? Oh, we're done, Sami says.
I thought
this was barely a Raw match, honestly. Like, this was not it.
After the match was over, I thought that Sami was going to attack him after the match.
You and me both.
So that because you could do two things with that. Like, because Sami at times can play a complex character, like outside of the good guy, bad guy thing. Like, no, I came out here to prove that I can beat you the right way, but you still deserve a shit kicking.
Exactly. And that's all
like
I was going to say. And
he
kind of alludes to being a heel, but guess what? He's not. He's just like, you deserved an ass whooping and I beat you fair. That's a great way to keep his character going strong. Put a little wonder in our next what happens. Instead, it's just, there's the mayo and there's the ham. By the way, the cheese is expired. Just, you're missing that one ingredient, and without it, it's not quite lunch.
The bummer to me is, and this is where I say I think I'm coming off on this show a lot more positive than most people. Before the pipe interference, before Scarlett gave Kross the pipe, and you're like, oh, he's going to try and use it and fail, and then she's going to offer it to Sami, and he's going to say no because he's the good guy. Before that device at the end of the match, I was enjoying this match a hell of a lot more than it seems like most people were, and I think it's just because I'm into the characters. And being into the characters is going to make you like the match more, even if the match is like not.
They're in a careless and difficult spot with Sami being involved, because fans wanted to root for Sami. Then they also don't want to root against Kross, so the fans are very ambivalent to what's going on, because they're like, I don't want to boo Kross, but I also don't want to root against.
I was gonna say,
Sami,
when he came out on Raw.
He gets a great reaction today, and TSS said it too. He got a great reaction, but once the entrance is over, he said right here, but the bell rings and they couldn't give less of a shit. He's right. The bell rings and fans are like, all right. Because this match, they don't want to boo either guy. They don't want to root against either one. And then to have this type of slow, plodding, methodical match, which can work. I don't dislike those matches either. A lot of people didn't care for the main event when I did. I like that test of strength. Who could get the slight advantage and scrap and claw. I like those feats of unbelievable, needs of adrenaline, and how can I overcome and outwit and outsmart and top you, and
Yep.
like that ending was poetry with the double GTS after the wonderful blood spot, hard way too, I'm guessing, because I doubt Gunther's bleeding now, but God knows. I was really hoping we would see Sami Zayn turn to the dark side. Give in to the force, Sammy. Instead we got nothing. And
see, like, this is where, like, knowing too much of the outside stuff kind of like takes you out of the moment a little bit. I don't see them turning Sammy heel per se. I don't think that he can. I don't think if he turned on Cross after the match and gave him a little bit of a shit kicking, that necessarily turns him heel. It just makes him a frustrated.
But it would have
babyface,
made
right?
the crowd be like, "Oh, is he heel now?" Oh, we would at least have something to chew on, something to go after.
But the overarching, there's so much, because people are talking about, and I'm going to sound like a broken record here, because people are talking already since this past January about next year's Rumble being in Saudi, and people assuming that because it's in Saudi, they're going to give the Rumble to Sami Zayn because it's one of the few people that can actually have like a meaningful victory over there, which is cool, which is nice. If he gets that, well, exactly. But like, no, but like, there's not very many other people that, okay, we're doing a show in Saudi and that's important to me specifically.
There's a sniper on the aid crate.
Oh dear. But like, so I can't get over the idea that Sammy's winning the Rumble in Saudi next year.
Okay,
so
if he does,
but they're not
great.
gonna,
but here and now, we've got time. Like, this doesn't build to that yet. That's the problem. You're being logical, but WWE is just being. We added Uno rules to our chessboard. We hit a skip a turn. That's what they put out. I was like, oh, they tried to have me, king them, and I'm like, we're not playing checkers. They're like, oh, skip, draw two. And I'm like, we're playing chess, and they're like,
but you can't
draw two.
Like, how do you turn Sammy heel, or potentially, I'm saying in tight air quotes, potentially heel, potentially like one step away from babyface for like a month or two, switch him back to babyface, spend another 2 months convincing us he's babyface again, because if he wins the Rumble in Saudi, he's a babyface.
Yeah.
So you're flipping the pancake twice.
Yeah, so maybe they shouldn't have had this match happen at all, or have it this way, or it could have moved on with the feud. We really didn't need to see them fight anymore after the last match.
No, you could have had
then
Cross
they started
win.
doing the attacks. You could have had Cross win just to end this, but now it needs to continue, it feels like, because Cross needs revenge, and you can't say this was all part of Cross's plan. Like, it really...
You can beat Sammy now and recoup him by next January. That's a lot of time. I'm just saying you can't do a turn and another turn in 4 months and make it believable.
You can beat Sammy's meat, but you can't cross the street because Hogan says it doesn't work for me, brother.
But here's the thing about Cross is weird, and it's where they intentionally leak the whole, oh my God, new contract. So that's what we're talking about, and we make what happens in the fiction on the story affected by, like, oh my God, is he leaving the company? Whereas there's two separate sets of, like, if you follow the rumor mill, did we end the stream?
No, I'm just switching the screen. Good.
Okay, we're still on. We're good.
Yes, you're good.
Where was I going with that? No, in the rumor mill, there's two separate streams. Either you got one bit of the rumor mill that says Karrion Kross is leaving the company, and you got the other end of the rumor mill that says, well, the Righteous are coming to WWE and they're going to be working with Kross. Well, both of those can't be true.
Yeah, I don't think either are true. I think he already signed a new deal and they're just not telling anybody yet. I cannot see them, with him being one of the top merch sellers without barely being on TV. I highly doubt they haven't already came to him and said, yeah, we'll sell your shirts, you got to sign a new contract. They're not going to let him be the top merch guy.
I don't think if he was leaving, his contract
they would not be
publicized.
Exactly, and they wouldn't be pushing his merch, and now it's sold at Raw shows, and now it's sold on live events, and that would not be happening. I'm sorry, it wouldn't be.
But Jake, kayfabe is our love language.
It is. It is. Sadly,
anyways, I
enjoyed
the match more than most people. The ending was stupid. It kind of leaves me going, what are we doing with Kross?
Why? Yeah.
But if they are planning on doing something big with him, then are they doing that like outside of kayfabe? Oh, we're burying him, because it'll make people think that we're not going to do anything with him ever. And then, oh, wait a minute. After everything I've just said, and why we have to keep Sammy face, because the Rumble's coming up in 5 months in Saudi. If Karrion Kross wins the Rumble, last tossing out Sami Zayn.
That would be. I think
you
people
remember
would be
the
pissed.
stipulation?
Sami Zayn going over the top like that, people would be almost as mad as when Bryan lost and they played Shattered Dreams next with Goldust. Spaz, you can see the stream again, correct, sir? Because I have to show you this. What do you know? Another indie show without any safeguards in place for fire.
Oh, the table spot. Yeah.
You saw this?
The fire spot? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was...
Was that, I think that was posted by AEW Full Wrestling?
No, I saw it by not Jigsaw, but look at that. He's just fully engulfed there. That's a hot meat to ball. Woo, you're a hot tamale, baby.
The other side of the coin
look at
is
that. He's still cooking, folks. Yeah, that's gonna leave a scar. He's going.
The other side of the
board.
coin is the I don't know where it's from, but the wrestling ring that was like on a flotation device.
Yes,
out in the lake, and then it started sinking because it was raining.
I mean, that's still on fire. Still on fire outside of the ring.
If that guy that you're showing right there was on the floating ring, he could have just like rolled out of the ring and jumped in the water.
Check out that clip from Envision Angle, but on Instagram. But that's insane. I mean, how do you not have fire extinguishers at the ready? Talk about mud show. What company is that? I'm dying to know.
Even the mud could have put that out.
Like how did they not put him out? That's $20 in warm beer does not seem worth losing your legs and having a 7th degree burns going up and down my body. If I was going to go ahead and rate the cross match, I'd give it 1 star. Honestly, I was very whelmed by that as well. Underwhelmed even, because I expect more. Bell to bell, these guys usually have it. They have a connection with the crowd. They can soak it in. Like you see Cross doing certain things and he takes his time and he's menacing and he's plotting, and it's like, okay, like Orton, it works, but it works against a certain opponent, or at least at a certain point in the match. He just stayed at that low gear, I think, for too long.
Okay. I am going to be a pain in the ass again, and it goes for a lot of the matches that we saw tonight. Cut off the finish, cut off the stupid shit with the pipe before the finish, and I'm giving the match a 3.
I took the happy pills. I give the match 5 stars. Suddenly it's better. No, you give it a 3. I can understand that with how you felt about it before. What I am curious of is your rating and breakdown of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez losing their titles. So does this mean that, Dom loses tomorrow and Judgment Day is just the men's tag champs and that's it? But Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, they got it is. So that's why I mentioned.
Remember I said on the thing it was going to be either a really good weekend for Judgment Day or a really bad weekend. So now, retrospectively, if I stick to that, I have to predict that Dom is losing tomorrow. But then again, they're really pushing the AAA show, and Dominic walking out of the AAA show as a double champion is pretty cool. Okay, speaking of side note,
yes.
Speaking of AAA.
Rewind. Yes.
Something that definitely should have been on the card tonight was Los Garza's open challenge for the AAA tag titles that happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, that
would have wrestlers were there.
I do admit, I do enjoy that damn iguana, but I cannot stand Psycho Clown.
Well, Pagano wasn't there, at least.
I know, thankfully, but that goddamn clown. I'm not afraid of clowns or anything. I just can't stand him as a wrestler. He drives me nuts in the ring. Not the gimmick.
I think it's a lot of fun.
It's the wrestler.
And you know what it is? Like,
it's got to win me over.
It's taken, what's it called? Legado, specifically Los Garzas, and made them look like they're up for it again. If that makes any sense.
No,
like you can see why they weren't really into it before, because they weren't really being given anything. Now they've got something to give them some oomph. And Escobar out there giving them the talk up before the open challenge, and then some AAA guys got over. And is it a bit of like, hey, we've got AAA now, let's cross promote a little bit, and is that the purpose? Then yes.
Yeah.
Is that why they're probably going to put the title on Dominic Mysterio? Yes. But again, a little bit of progress from the last show. Like, we're getting it for free on YouTube in English. We don't have to pirate it.
Exactly. But I think Dom's going to lose tomorrow. I think it's going to be a bad weekend for Judgment Day. But they kind of wanted to push him and Roxanne, right? I mean, so maybe he gets help to retain, and then that's what's going to lead to the catalyst of him and Liv breaking up. And I don't know, but Liv's not coming back anytime soon. I'm still sticking with that guess.
The thing about it is, though, with the Dom AJ match, and we're turning this into a redo of the preview, but like with the crossover, like with AJ not only going and showing up at Slammiversary to put over Leon Slater, but also hinting on the kickoff that he might do something else with TNA at some point. You either get Dominic Mysterio walking into the TNA or into the AAA show as Intercontinental Champion, or you get AJ Styles walking into TNA as the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one or the other.
There's pretty cool possibilities both ways. And at AAA, when Dom made his attack on El Vikingo de Caveman Horn Man, he like the pop.
El Vikingo de Vikingo de Vibio.
I don't know why I'm making fun of him. I like Vikingo.
I do as well, but I can never say his name right. El Vikingo de Vikingo de Vijo.
How they landed on Vikingo versus Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano Dos versus Dominic Mysterio.
Michelle, how do you say that name?
You want to know what's funny? Somebody sent me the card from Bloodsport that apparently also happened tonight. I might have to check this out.
I know Natty was going to be on there fighting, so it was going to be interesting.
Well, the results aren't here. It's just the wiki page, and they haven't updated it yet, so there's no spoilers, which is nice. But Natty took on Masha Slamovich, which is awesome. Pete Dunne, Jonathan Gresham, I will watch the shit out of.
Pete Dunne, the new luchador.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie Dempsey versus somebody I don't know. Dominic Garini. Nick Camarado and Simon
Regal.
Nick Camarado versus Simon Gotch.
Camarado.
Fun.
Solo go.
Eric and Ivar have separate matches on the show.
Here's the war, and then here's the Raider.
Oh my God.
Got to split them up. We can only afford one after the Judgment.
Oh no.
Anyways,
I just thought that was cool because, like, it's not like we don't cross the streams with any other companies and such and such and such.
No, not at all, ever.
But
I was getting jealous. Cody's was a little bit bigger than ours, so we had to make sure all of our names are equal over here. I don't want Cody to get a big head if he ever can connect. But our man on the inside is failing us.
Don't let Cody know mine's the biggest.
I will not. Look at that. Spaz. He's talking about it. Look at that. Oh, you just say it grows. God, down boy. Jeez, it's out. Poke an eye out. All right, we'll let you be a little bit bigger. Just keep your ego strong. Raquel, Roxanne, they had a lot of great spots in this match. They really did.
I popped you.
Alexa giving the stiff forearm. That was good. She went ahead and knocked Charlotte's clock.
Like, all four of them, and like I don't dislike Raquel Rodriguez, but I don't find myself talking about her as an individual a whole lot. All four of them in this match were laying it in.
They were excellent. And
excellent indeed.
They went ahead and they laid out a ton of flare chops. That was fun. You heard the audience just wooing every chop. Oh, it was great. Look at that. And it's fun to see Charlotte get fan interactions in a positive manner. We've really never seen that happen. She was a face when she first came into the main roster, but even then people were like, you should be a heel. And then eventually that was it. So the fans resented her from day one. And like she said, she should have been of the mindset that doesn't matter what my dad did, I'm different, instead of I need to do better than him. Once she was able to escape that mindset.
Have you seen the people? Oh my God, I can't believe they would put Nick Hogan on the show. Don't they know that we've seen enough of that? Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have another 10-bell salute on SmackDown. All right. They should have kept that going.
They should have done one at SummerSlam, but that's another story for another day.
Right. Maybe night 2, we'll see. But this was great. You saw Bliss get a little bit of psychology put into her head when she sets up Roxanne for Sister Abigail, and Flair just runs right towards her, and you're thinking, oh, she's gonna turn on her. Here we go. No, she hits Rodriguez with a big boot. Camera angle was perfect.
With the
yeah.
No, with the accidental shot from Alexa to Charlotte.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Earlier on in the
I
match.
got you.
And for her,
I was just saying, production-wise, it was so perfect because the way she's holding her, they have the tight shot, and then all of a sudden Charlotte's running at her, and you can't see Raquel anywhere. So you're like, "Fuck!" And then a big boot right to Raquel. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Sister Abigail gets the pin. They win the tag titles. New female tag champs. Couldn't happen to a better set of ladies, and I'm happy for them. This is something great. When you can't have Alexa or Charlotte in the main title picture, this is like the best place for them. I feel like they can work with everyone and give everybody a really compelling, good story and match. So
you'll find this funny, like, and this is more of a comment from before the women's IC and US titles were made.
Yeah.
But you do get people that are seen as main eventers like Charlotte, like Alexa, where either they're fighting for the world title, they're fighting to be absolutely on top, or they're doing nothing.
Yeah,
which is kind of an
we've
awkward
had Sasha
place
and
to be in,
Bailey,
right?
we've had Ronda before, we've had people hold the tag titles, and you're like, oh shit, this should be a big deal. Live for Brutality was one that I thought was going to be bigger.
Yep.
This shouldn't die quick. I want to see them not have a 150-day reign, even, but just a couple of solid defenses. Like I want to see this not be over in a week's time. I don't want to see it drag on to be the longest reigning ever, but
that's why I think what they did in this match is really smart. The whole Alexa was the one that really wanted this team or suggested this team initially. She's the one that wants to make it work. Are they friends? Are they not friends? Some of the cutesy stuff they're doing backstage is a little corny. I don't mind it, but
they even had Charlotte be like, "No, we're not friends." Like I hate that word. Right before the show started, the kickoff, Charlotte was like, "No, we're not friends. I hate that word. I don't believe in friends." Like
the allies of convenience.
Yes, that was it. But she wasn't being corny about it. You could tell like there was like this weight on her, this like sense of betrayal and hurt from those she had. Because think about how many times she's been turned on as well. Equally,
course,
justified or not, granted,
by the fans even.
Yes, those as well. So it is a good emotional toll to be, placed upon the fans of look at everything, the trials and tribulations of Charlotte. Look at how she's had to drop Ashley and truly become Charlotte and being able to be confident in who she is and accepting. This is leading to her finally connecting with the fans in a positive way. Why? Because she's being more herself. She's that silly, quirky awkwardness. That's her. The bitch,
but also
the cold.
But also they had to get
bitch
past
face.
They had to get past the fans. Like, I don't want to say this because fans can cheer and boo whoever they want. I'm not saying that, but there was a certain sect of the fans that were stubborn, that were gonna we're not gonna let you be a thing.
And
no matter
guess what? They got
doing.
worked into cheering for them because it worked on so many levels. And you know why? Because Charlotte has always been portrayed as emotionless, stoic, cold. Maybe she would yell at the crowd or something, be like, but she would be like monotone even when loud. Like she didn't have this. Colorful character. It was just in-ring work was what she was backed by. Now
what's the famous promo
leading.
that everybody knocks her for when she like tells her dad to fuck off? I don't need you anymore.
Exactly, that slow cadence, and it's Bubba Gump. That's all I think back to with that one. But this was a good match. Really good. I would probably give it close to 4 stars, maybe like 3 3/4. 4 stars is good. These girls killed it, and I'm excited. This is the first time I've been excited with these tag titles in a while. I hope it's not just
hot
Mr.
potato
Pico
done.
Saying,
Mr. Pico in the comments there saying, unfortunately, we're never going to get Psycho Clown versus Psycho Sid.
If only that would have been, true dream match. Absolutely.
But no, I like it, and it's not a loss that's going to hurt Roxanne and Raquel because it builds their own story. It depends how they present it. I have heard this idea that obviously Liv, when she comes back, she's going to be a babyface. there's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit of like put the bullshit behind us between her and Rhea, and eventually we're going to get her and Rhea versus Roxanne and Raquel, and it's basically like Judgment Day versus all of Dom's exes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Now how silly that sounds, and the story of it aside, like just looking at it from a match point of view,
Cody said it.
Roxanne
I've said it. Yeah, we could see, Rhea and Liv and others team
Roxanne and
up.
Raquel versus Rhea and Liv. When you consider that Rhea and Liv were a tag team already before, you mentioned it before, Liv for Brutality.
Yes.
But consider not that they were bad back then by any stretch, but consider how far those two individuals have come since then, and picture how over they will now be as a team.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
to- if I used
that's
to-
very
if
true
I-
because they are extremely over. They're very, very competitive in ring, but they also have the fan support and the characters to back it all up. So
You
it's
need to have a moment with them.
multifaceted.
And I'm not saying copy Sammy and KO's homework.
No, but they need to have that type of friend thing. Yes.
But the way they brought them together, and there had been so much between the two of them that they didn't do it. They didn't want to do it. They both needed to go their separate ways. Both of them, especially KO, were both really stubborn and whatever. And then they finally had the hug in Montreal when they challenged the Usos for WrestleMania. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
I need to see something similar with Liv and Rhea. It can't be as simple as, oh yeah, by the way,
both hate
I'm
Dom.
back. By the way, the enemy of my enemy, and I guess.
Yeah.
Like, they deserve more.
And we got to see how Raquel betrays her as well now that she lost their titles. And, Raquel was supposed to hold on to those till Liv got back. That didn't happen.
think, well, that part of it you can just wash away as.
No, but it's certainly a
like,
storyline element that could be used.
but
I don't know if it will be, but granted, it's out there.
I do.
Analytical
I don't-
minds.
I don't think it's the one you need to focus on the most, because Roxanne will be the focus, because Roxanne is the newest member on the roster, and making her the focus of the story will only help her, right?
Yeah.
But in the story, Roxanne is the one that's done everything to Liv that Liv did to Rhea.
Yeah.
So
no
that's
doubt.
how you build it. And then almost as a side note, like, you can have Liv almost be dismissive of Raquel. Well, like, you, as far as tag team partners go, you cheated on me with her. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
No, you're not wrong.
like,
And
if she's getting in Roxanne's face and Raquel tries to get involved, she's like, no, you sit over there.
yeah, can you chill the fuck out and cut the shit?
You can't sit with us.
Yeah, no kidding. So you can't join our cool table, the cool kids sit here. Oh, we were talking about my high school bullies yesterday and me having songs made about me at the lunch wave. It's kind of like that all over again. They're
Oh, no.
the bullies, my PTSD. Dear God, no. Just started spazzing out on the podcast.
Thanks.
Regress, Spaz, regress.
The best thing ever would be if all of them were fighting, and there's Dom in the middle with his two belts, and you
Yeah,
just
it's
go,
just tug of war.
No, even better, because Dom's a babyface in waiting, right?
Yes.
People are waiting for Dom to do something that will make him a babyface so that they can finally pop for him properly. If these four are fighting in the ring and they're like cutting their promos on each other before the big match at whatever pay-per-view, Dominic's in the middle trying to keep peace with his AAA mega title and his Intercontinental title. And he says, "You bitches are crazy, I'm out."
That works even better. He's just like, y'all suck. Peace.
What's the stick figure?
Deuces.
No. I don't know what the fuck just happened, and I don't really care. I'm gonna
I'm
get
out.
the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
You're not wrong. I mean, he would just have to, because for him to be the good guy, all he has to do is not side with Roxanne. That's as pretty simple as it gets. Like, Roxanne can keep laying it on thick, and it might appear like he's with her, but the truth is he isn't. I can see them doing something like that. But with the positive fan reaction that he's been getting for so long, for them to keep him as a heel feels really just not right. So, all in all, this was a fun match, fun moment. And
if after all this, Dominic ends up as a solo babyface wrestler, I will laugh my ass off.
This was probably one of the highlights of SummerSlam for me. this was probably my
the
favorite
tag match.
tag match. Probably
Oh.
my favorite match as well, because the opening was okay, but again, I felt like the Bronze, both of them got really taken down. Quite a few stock pegs there. Sammy and Karrion, why this finish, or why not? You know, something more compelling.
Is this something? Is this anything?
Is it? Yeah. And then we get into Tiffany and Jade literally put her opponent's foot on the rope for her for the kick out. Jade was she was green as Milo shit after stealing McDonald's burgers. Like it was a rough match to get through. Tiffany did what she could. Hey, there's the man himself, Cody O'Needy 316. What's going on? But I don't know why it wasn't letting me do any group calling. Like it was just doing direct. So I'm gonna try and merge this so Spaz will hear you.
So my phone died. So when MetLife is a pain in the ass to get out of.
You don't say.
It
The
took us an hour and
gigantic
a
arena.
half. It took us an hour and a half because we decided to Uber there, and every Uber canceled on us for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then my phone eventually died, and shit show.
Total shit show. And then you can't get it to the Uber because they want to be paid, and you're like, it's on my phone. Phone's dead. I bring charge cable. You know, it's like, all right, I got you. Thank
What
you,
match
Mr.
are you
Uber.
on?
Well,
The
we're
second
talking
last
about
one?
we're talking about Tiffany and Jade right now. We've had quite the show. We've been all over the place, but we're currently live on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Twitter. That's right. We got
I thought
X
that match was
live.
kinda boring.
So
I'm just gonna give my opinion. That match was probably.
yeah, I agree. So you were there live. What did you think of the opening match with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso beating the Bronze? What was your take, Cody?
I like the match. I thought Roman overdid the dive he did. He almost went flying.
He did almost smash and
stage.
crash and land. Yeah, they barely put their
Brad
hands
Baker
on him to
actually
catch
got
him.
I'm not sure
Okay.
if you were-
Yeah, Liz had said it, and a few others had said it seemed like he legitimately got hurt. He was limping on the post show, so that
And he was in a knee
makes
brace.
sense.
One in the ending, I think.
Yeah. So hopefully he's okay and not hurt bad, and hopefully it's not another ruse like what they did with Seth. Because wouldn't that be irony at its finest? You faked a knee injury with your boss, and now you're the you're the one suffering from it. So I thought it was a good match. It just I didn't want to see either of the Bronze lose here because they're already at a disservice
Even though I'm
with no
a big
Seth.
Roman fan, I think they killed their momentum losing. After Monday Night Raw, having them destroy Roman and Jay,
Yeah,
you can't be doing that.
they beat their ass on Monday, and surprisingly, this was.
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, we can
Because
hear
I
you
don't
nice
have the
and clear.
normal headset.
You're
I forgot to bring the headset.
you're doing all right. You're coming in clear, so clear as we can get you, clean as Three Rivers can get it. So hot opening tag match, sure. The crowd was into it. It's hard to do pyro in the daytime, but it looked like it was a good seat you had. Good.
Call them for blankets and pillow. How sorry I'm talking to.
Don't talk to the help. I'm telling you, if Manny's there, tell him he needs to go to you some rune service. Yeah. What do you think of Raquel and Roxanne losing the tag titles?
What I think now is you're gonna get mad, but I think that means Liv Morgan's returning tomorrow.
Oh, God damn it. I knew it. I said it before. Cody's saying she's definitely coming back now. That'd be his final judgment.
Yep.
Night
Because
two.
that's gonna build tension because Raquel and Roxanne are gonna be like, why didn't you help us if you were in the area?
And they lost Liv's title. So Liv could be pissed about that, too.
Liv tweeted, "Aw, shucks." So
She might be not a fan of Roxanne. You know, we'll see what comes of it. But I still don't think she's coming back tomorrow. I might be way off. I might just be
what
in
do you think?
denial.
Spaz, what do you think?
I think lots of things.
Okay, asshole. What
do you think Liv's
what do you
coming
think?
back tomorrow? I don't see Liv coming back tomorrow.
I don't know what the purpose would be for coming back tomorrow, unless it's going to be dick over Dom. But like,
Or help him.
I
If
think
it
they're
was-
staying as a pair, though. That's my thing.
She would side
Well,
with
well,
Dom. If anything, I think they would both be babyface together because the fans want to
Maybe.
cheer her and R, and she's
And
supposed to
they're
be
now
going
cheering
that
Dom
way.
as
But
well.
yeah, so.
I'm
I
not
mean,
really sure because you got to like, even if she does end up eventually teaming with Dom, Dom still is the one that's sort of like been hanging out with her replacement the same way he hung out with her when she was Rhea's replacement. Before you hopped online, Jake and I were talking about the rumors of Rhea and Liv versus Raquel and Rox coming down the line. That's a match I want to see, and
I
I
can
kind
see
of
that
thought
happening.
Dom could dust his
Takeover,
hands and be like, "You guys are all crazy."
Australia, right? Give
Fair,
give a big
yes.
match there.
I think that's different. Do you think Dom's going with Roxanne? Because I don't see that. Because I think there's different interests. Because all Dom cares about is Liv. In this scenario, it seems.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it look like Dom is doing some canoodling with Roxanne, but really it's not, and he's gonna try and prove himself. But I think Liv and him will side together. I think it'll be some type of mischievous action at play from Roxanne.
Oh, like he's been
Judgment
keeping
Day.
up with Liv. He's been
Anthony,
keeping
do
up
you
with
think
Liv the whole
is
time.
returning
Yeah,
tomorrow?
something like that.
Not tomorrow.
So let's get my friend's take. Do you think Liv is returning tomorrow? Maybe.
Manny
Yes
said
or no?
maybe. All right.
There's no in the middle. Yes or no?
You better pick.
She's saying the same thing as you guys. What the fuck does she do though? So
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
What she used to do? She has
What can she do? That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
She would have to
Into
side
that.
with him.
I said Seth Rollins was coming, and you said I'm an idiot, and I got that one right. I'm going 2-0.
I know.
Okay?
I thought they wouldn't be that foolish to really go ahead and make it that obvious and fake the injury just because I thought there was going to be something bigger at play. I was like, oh, we're going to hear Seth's music, but Braun acted injured before, and he's really going to come out and cash in. Nope, that's not the case either. So Alexa and Charlotte were very over. Charlotte almost seemed a little more over than Alexa at times. They got a great reaction winning those titles. You got a good shot of that. I thought it was a good chase and story for these two to conquer the Judgment Day, and now I want to see them defend the titles successfully all over the place. I want to see Charlotte going back to NXT and all in between.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm making sure the Wi-Fi is good. Yeah,
Even
the
better.
reaction was loud for them. Every time they showed speaking about who's really over, anytime they showed like a Dom thing, like the crowd went bananas because there was commercials during the show, and everyone.
Well, he's going to be a AAA champion soon, so
He's just getting more and more over. It's pretty damn incredible. And why would they not give him the AAA belt, right? I mean, talk about cross promotion. That would be incredible for him to win that title.
Hey, tonight I would have loved
too.
some cross promotion.
Right. We wouldn't want Cross to win something, but instead he got beaten by Sami Zayn in a very drab and disappointing match. Any thoughts on that, Cody?
What, Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, you said?
Yeah.
The match was all right. I think Karrion Kross should have won on the main stage because what does he do now? Because Sami Zayn is just a top guy now. If he loses, it doesn't really affect him.
Yeah.
Karrion Kross affects him. So
it affects Karrion. Absolutely. He needs the wins. He needs to be doing, or at least have a good, compelling story come out of it. Just him being told he's right.
If he loses, he's fine.
Yeah. I agree entirely. Then we were talking about Tiffany and Jade. I mean, besides the god-awful, what was it, the Eye of the Storm set out powerbomb that she does, and she ended up basically rolling Tiffany's legs up into the rope herself, and the ref had to call it like, hey, no, her foot touched the rope. Besides that, though, the ending spot on the rope really did take forever to set up. As I said before, I agree. The Avalanche version it took forever. And then the Prettiest Moonsault got the 3 count. Tiffany Stratton is 14-0 in 2025, Michael Cole said. So that's a good stat to talk about. But this was a very brief, a very short, and a very underwhelming match. I wasn't expecting anything incredible, but I thought we would get at least a bit better from these two. And it kind of feels like Jade really needs that more experienced person to lead. Like, she's good, but having her be the one make the calls. I thought Jade was winning. She won Queen of the Ring. Now it feels like that was kind of, yeah. But now, she's just beaten, goes back to the end of the line. So who's ready to face Stratton next, We'll see what happens.
Let her face Julia, title for title.
It was just a couple of matches that really felt like the opening match, this match, and the Sammy Cross match did not feel SummerSlam worthy. This match was like a 1.5 stars. Really?
See, my thing is where I will differentiate this one from the other ones is Cody, before you hopped online, my thing all night has been like, I don't like a lot of the results here, but I still enjoyed a lot of the matches. I still got a lot of big feel from the show and whatnot. Whereas this one felt like a match being wrestled by two people that had just lost all their confidence. Like, it was a couple really good ideas done in slow motion,
and then the execution wasn't there.
Done really tentatively. And I kind of feel bad saying that. You and I talked on my show about how, like, specifically, like, I use Lyra as the example a lot, but Jade Cargill's another one where it's like, it's not all there yet. I'm loving watching her figure herself out. I'm cheering for her. I'm voting for her and all that. That where she went for the Jaded and it got reversed into that really weird head scissor thing that they did. It seemed like a good idea that just take too long to happen.
It was so dragged out and slow.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, where I say the confidence thing comes in, because I don't think, like, nobody broke anybody's neck or anything like that.
No.
You know, thankfully, that's the number one thing. But it feels like they put together a short match. It was done really tentatively. Everything took like an extra step to get where they were going, but once they got to whatever the spot was, the spot itself was fine.
Yeah. Because I like the spot where she did the swanton. I know even before that, where she did the swanton, she did a kick out at 1, and I was like, all right, that fits. That was cool. And then
that whole where they do the roll up and it rolls over too far and you have to make it believable that the person's foot touched the rope.
Yeah,
that spot gets botched a lot in a match like this where it didn't feel confident from the beginning. It's going to be way more noticeable. Yeah, which is kind of unfair to them, but I can only say what I see. Right?
Yeah, you're talking about when she reversed the suplex into the ring from the apron with the Michinoku driver there.
Well, when she went for whatever the pinning combination was, where she basically pulled her foot over into the rope area, which is a thing that happens a lot.
That was the Jaded that she hit, and then she rolls her over, but she pulls her feet and she touches Tiff's feet to the rope. And I give Daphne, what's her last, LaShawn?
Daphne LaShawn,
I give her a ton of credit for that. 5 stars to you, young lady, for calling that like a shoot. You're like, no, her foot touched. I'm not going to ignore it.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Like, that spot in a match is meant to be no, it's not the win thing, because the whole idea is you got way overexcited and you pinned the person too far.
I don't think that was intentional. I think that was a botch. You think that was intentional? I guess we're gonna hear, but
because they had that really, like I say, it came off super slow, but that sort of high risk top rope counter thing that they did. And that wasn't something they came up with on the fly. That was planned out to be part of the match. So I think it was the
hotel, I swear.
But the whole thing of like, oh, I pinned somebody a little too enthusiastically, and I was the one that put their foot on the rope by accident because of my own excitement or whatever. It's a spot that's done a lot. It never looks particularly good because it makes everybody look a bit dumb. But in a match like this that didn't seem very confident, a match or a botch that happens to 100 other people looks 10 times more obvious here, which is super unfortunate for the ladies.
We're going to ask the chat right now. I said in the poll that I have, did Jade botch or was the foot on the rope planned? Yes, she botched, or no, it was planned. We'll hear what happens. But
because that big counter from the top that led to the finish, I really liked.
I think that was a botch, though. I really think she did not mean to do that intentionally, and it was just called as a shoot. We'll see what people say, but you're pissing me off. Why? What'd the hotel do to you? Did you find some cummy sheets?
They have a bed with no blankets, pillow sheet, like pillows, bed sheets, anything.
Okay, so do they have like a robe in the closet? Just put the robe on and cuddle up with each other. You'll be fine.
They got nothing in here.
Then cuddle together for warmth. You'll be fine. That's what Spaz and I did last night.
Grab some toilet paper and do it mummy style.
Yeah, wrap yourselves up. You could be the Yeti. You could shake like the Yeti too.
That's mine and your thing, though, Jake. So I don't know.
I just gave you permission to do it without me.
You didn't know that I was there, did you?
I don't.
Spaz in the
Do I have
closet.
permission to use your finisher, though?
Absolutely. If you can get her to finish, you can finish it.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Blade said the fact that Sammy was stressing this had no value. Yeah, it had me wondering what's next for Cross, because him and LA Knight need to push before it gets stale. I agree. Like, there's got to be some type of plan here. They had LA Knight lose. What's that? What do we got going?
So, like, someone commented on his post, and they're like, if Triple H and WWE doesn't want to use LA Knight as a main talent guy, let him go of his contract, and he'll be a main event guy elsewhere. And he liked the Instagram post.
It could just be doing it for attention.
That could be, but like, I don't understand how you fumble with LA Knight, but
I'm telling you, it was a
Triple H fumbled with Austin
you know what it
Theory.
is? They either just have too much goddamn talent. They have too many belts. They have too many things to do, and they have too many shows, so they don't get any time to build things organically. It's always the next show. We got to have the matches ready. They have to be 5, 10, 15 steps ahead for things. And we don't get the time to usually enjoy, embrace, and build. Like, John turning face shouldn't be the go-home show for SmackDown. Like, that should have happened the third week in and been like, oh, now he's like, I guess you want the question if he is good or bad in the match, perhaps. But really, I feel like if he's truly a face after tomorrow night, then they could have given people, you know, more time to get back on the John Cena bandwagon. I really felt like they were going to course correct. He said it, you know, there's no rapper that's going to be there, just me. You know, fuck Travis Scott. Everybody's pissed at him regardless. And if you watch Unreal, you see it was supposed to be Travis Scott that they built this around, foolishly. And with him not being able to be reliable.
Building around Travis Scott, huh?
Yeah, that was a bad decision to begin with. Right now, the chat 100% says botch. So we'll see as people continue to vote in the poll. I think it indeed was a botch from Jade. Granted.
Well, wow, a botch from Jade.
Yeah, I think she botched. So Jelly Roll and Orton, Drew, Logan, do you have any major comments about this one, Cody?
The crowd switched up when Jelly Roll came out, because in the pre-show when they showed Jelly Roll, the crowd was booing him.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprising. So yeah,
That's
they
weird.
went nuts for him when he came out, and
Yeah, that's what there was a switch up. I don't know what it was, but they were booing him at first.
This was again probably my favorite on the men's side. This was a damn good match. I really liked Punk and Gunther, but the Seth cash-in just ruins it for me in a way. It doesn't make it bad. It just takes away, if you get what I'm saying, because I want to see Punk be the champion, but I don't want to see the chase with Seth. I mean, I just him and Seth feels so done to me. It feels so
the match from
old.
bell to bell. I'm gonna fight you on that one, because before the cash in, a match is a match from bell to bell, and it might be my favorite 2025 match.
Wow, that's huge praise from you. I don't know if I'm that high on it. I'm definitely, you know, 4
I mean, my
star.
biases go with that as well, as Punk
What's your
winning
favorite
a title.
That's high up there.
What's your favorite match?
Punk and Gunther is I'm saying that off the cuff after just watching it, so don't take it as golden. But that match, beginning to end, like I say, before the cash in, because we had an opening bell, we had a closing bell.
Yeah,
it was a match. It was a title change. Looking at just the match, probably like what I'm thinking right now is, and it's
Men's
the same
match or overall match.
Ladies match. I'm gonna go with Io and Ripley, but again, before the cash in happened.
yeah.
Oh,
So.
okay.
So the two matches that were ruined.
So we have the
two
same
matches that were
caveat.
ruined. My two favorite matches this year were both ruined by cash-ins.
My
I
nose
mean,
all snuggled up.
Just in general, any pay-per-view that reminds me Naomi is a thing is automatically 0 stars.
Causing you some problems.
Anyways, I'm going to leave you and Cody in each other's capable hands, because Spaz is tired and we got one more night to go.
Spaz is exhausted. We got night 2 coming in tomorrow. Spaz, tell these beautiful people where they can find you, my good man. Let the people of Twitter and Rumble and YouTube know, my good man.
Hey, I'm in all the places. Find me on X at Spaz Phoenix, Instagram at Spaz Phoenix. Find me on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iTunes, and apparently, what was the other one you said I was doing really good on? Like Spreaker?
Spreaker, yes. So.
All by searching Spaz Phoenix Podcast. 9 times out of 10, you've got this guy over there on my pod making sure I look good and sound good. So all credit to you. Thanks for everything you do for my channel. Thanks for having me on tonight, and I will see you tomorrow night.
You know it, my good sir. Thank you to the one and only Spaz Phoenix for coming and hanging out.
Have a good hotel night,
here.
Cody.
Yeah, enjoy the bubble bath and that hot tub.
I probably won't be here tomorrow, so you're gonna really need to fill in.
Pause.
Oh, you could fill it, baby. I'm surprised we even got the calls to come through, because before I started this stream, there was still no audio, so I'm shocked we're even getting this far. Originally, what I wanted to do with the community, and like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to take more people. But
you said you were gonna fix.
I made improvements, okay? Since yesterday, when SmackDown shit the bed on us, we went ahead and fixed it, okay? It took a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of knowledge.
The comment section was saying, fill in, but like I was hearing myself, so it would have been a shit show.
Yeah, it was like, you know, pretty much what I was hearing was just like 7 of you, so...
Yeah, I was hearing myself over and over and over and over.
It was like,
so
you know,
like,
pretty much you're just going to hear everybody like an echo. Fuck with
and
everybody for a second.
You.
Yeah. So I don't know. My mic got killed first.
No sound at all. Then a few minutes later, like, oh, Cody, we can hear you. And then I'm like, but I'm not filling it. They were telling me to fill it.
Yeah, you were supposed to keep talking, but you couldn't because you just heard yourself, and that messes you up.
Over and over.
Bad.
So
I went ahead and apparently there was an update to Wavelink and everything Elgato. Before we started the stream, I always restart the computer and it installed an update without me realizing, and it signed me out of Wavelink and got rid of all my profiles. That's why there was no of any of the noise canceling and all of those lovely things, and that's why it was so loud, not functioning properly. And since then, we fixed it. We went ahead and we got some of it to work, desktop. So, granted. This night one left a good deal to be desired. It wasn't bad by any means. I would give the main event a solid 4 stars. I like the story they told here. Punk was able to withstand everything that Gunther threw at him. The blood looked viscerally great, spewing out of Gunther's
people I've talked to in the crowd. I need to go back and watch it on TV. We'll probably do that here.
Yeah.
Hotel, because so I want to go back and watch that main event, because people at the arena I was talking to said it started out very slow and it was getting boring. I don't know if you agree with that.
It did start slow. I mean, it was a 30-minute match, exactly, like 30 minutes and like 15 seconds. I think was the time.
Usually, I said to them, like Gunther.
But it was never boring. It just was slow at the start, and it took time to build. But they built great, and
real technical wrestle.
Once Punk saw that he was bleeding, like. Which the crowd was gasping because he was bleeding heavily, so that was awesome. I mean, he tripped Gunther and went down behind the table hard. So I either got it hard way there or when they did the table spot. So
wow, you got him hard. Wow.
Yeah, because when he went ahead and knocked him behind the Spanish broadcast table, like that was brutal. So Punk sees that, hits him with the GTS. He's standing there wobbled, but stays on his feet, and he hoists him up for a second GTS and then gets the 3 count. And CM Punk making us go nuts, telling everybody
he was the world
banana. Checking out the Twitter. What do we got here? Saying that the World Heavyweight Championship match between CM Punk and Gunther was produced by Abyss and Adam Pearce. I believe it. So that's a really cool fact there. I felt very bad for Joseph Park on the Unreal show, where he was like freaked out because Punk and Seth went over their time at the Netflix debut. Like he was like, "I'm so sorry, Bruce. I'm so sorry." And they're like, "Don't worry about it." So WWE will not be doing standard post-show press conferences for the foreseeable future. Instead, they'll be running post-shows with Joe Tessitore, Big E, and others. So they're not going to do press conferences anymore, which I think is good. I think the immediate afterwards press conference is silly. Triple H said, anybody coming tomorrow? You ain't seen nothing yet. That's exciting. I'm curious to hear what we get, surprises tomorrow.
So what do you think we're getting tomorrow?
We're thinking about coming tomorrow. You ain't seen nothing yet. Whoa!
You ain't seen nothing yet, he says. Jelly Roll maybe trying to get some revenge and take out Cena. You never know. But yeah, Jelly Roll did very well tonight. And I love the fact that they lost. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they usually always give it to celebrity. And these are two talented heels that really kind of do need the wins right now. Drew certainly does. He's lost quite a bit. And Logan, I don't know, not that he couldn't recover from a loss, but here, this certainly elevates him. And they did it in such a way where Jelly Roll looked like, Rocky. He was able to overcome and stood on his feet and took a licking, kept on ticking, delivered a great choke slam. Logan went up so high for that and sold like a son of a bitch. The black roll slam, as they called it, instead of the black hole slam, that was damn good. But hitting him with the frog splash after Logan runs Randy into the ring post really hard, and he gets the 3 count on Jelly Roll. I was hoping maybe Jelly Roll gets the knees up, or no, he just got taken down. But it was a very good babyface celebrity, and the fans got behind in the proper babyface way. They wanted to see him in moments of peril be saved by Randy. They wanted to see him overcome, and they got that, and they went nuts for him live, and he earned it too. Yeah, go nuts, naughty boy.
I'm a jackass.
Aren't we all? And then we said Gunther and Punk. I really enjoyed what they gave us. It was a bit slow early on, up until when
Why is it being like this?
Once Gunther put him in the sharpshooter, that's when it went ahead and really started to kick off. I feel like that's when it really was like, all right, this is underway. And Gunther's got him in there. He's holding fast. He's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and make his idol be his finishing move to make him tap. But then Punk reverses it. And he's got Gunther, basically reaching for the ropes and trying to get out of it. And eventually, he gets a sharpshooter back on him. And then Punk reverses it and grabs the ropes. He breaks it down, gets out of the hold. And Gunther's just taunting him. He's like, oh, this is supposed to be the best in the world, huh? This is the best in the world, everybody. And that's when Punk goes over and gets him with a great neck breaker and hits him with the high knee. Gunther gets able to just stuff it and power bombs Punk. And I was like, that was a great near fall. 2 3/4 on that one. They still had a lot to go here, though. We saw them fight down at ringside. And it was pretty cool. You saw
a high knee.
Yeah, you saw Gunther say it made him the best in the world when he had the title. That was a cool moment. Staring down the barrel of the camera.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Sorry, I'm trying to order food at the same time. My bad.
I'm making you multitask. That's okay, my friend. And like I said, Punk gets the 2 GTSs after making Gunther bleed. I really love this. Can't overstate how much I enjoyed this. Problem is, most of this night just feels underwhelming. Out of the 6 matches, I really enjoyed 2, and I enjoyed 3 of them, but I really liked 2 of them. So I really liked the men's tag. That was good, in Jelly Roll, but I would put the women's tag above that, and then above that, I would put the main event of Gunther and Punk. There's just something about Seth cashing in, taking it away from Punk, where I'm not even like, oh, I want to see Punk beat his ass. Like, you wanted to see Daniel Bryan take out Triple H and Randy Orton and wreck shop on the Authority and get his belt back. I don't feel that way with Seth. I'm just like, Christ, he's got the belt again. I was so sold on him being injured and being away for a while and having... I was in denial, I know, but I didn't want to see Seth be the champion. I feel like it's just cliche, boring. Give it to other people at this point. He's held the belt for a lot of time, for a long time. Sometimes deservedly so, sometimes not so much. It doesn't feel as like hot with heel heat as it could be. I guess he got over everybody with the swerve of the decade at this point, Simply because, I'm not really hurt. Him throwing down the crutches was a cool visual, but it was so telegraphed and obvious. And I don't know. I wish they could have done something of a better surprise. They could have had, God knows, my creative brain is tapped at this point. I'm admitting defeat. I wish they did something a bit more with Seth. Granted, hey, he's champ. We got to see what happens tomorrow night with night 2. We've got a lot of great matches to look forward to. Obviously, your boy Dominic Mysterio taking on AJ Styles. We've got the triple threat of Naomi, Io, and Rhea. That should be excellent. That's WrestleMania Part 2 with just substituting Bianca for Naomi. I didn't do that. WWE did. Just saying. Becky Lynch taking on Lyra Valkyria. I like how they said that Valkyria is going to retain on the leak spoilers, and it's like she's not even the champ. Crazy. Solo taking on Jacob in a cage match, and of course we have the main event of John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and the 6-pack TLC match. Not on this list, but yes, all of the tag teams on SmackDown going to be going nuts. That's going to be a hell of a showing for night 2. I'm definitely more excited for night 2 than I was night 1. I didn't realize how much of the heavy lifting night 2 is going to have to do, though, to really make this 2-night SummerSlam be a sale for me, because what it's doing right now is what we've gotten with some, not all, but some 2-night Manias. This year we had it as well, where you're like, if I took a couple of matches from night 1 and a couple from night 2, we would obviously have a amazing show. But instead, we're getting 2 okay nights because they have to over-deliver on SummerSlam. SummerSlam should be 1 night, you know? It really should, and we didn't need... They could have done it,
Okay,
I think, another hour. It was quick.
Because...
It was over fast. It really was. It in and out thing. I expected it to not be live until an hour ago at 11 o'clock.
I don't know if you agree. Some of the matches seem rushed.
Yeah, certainly. And I feel like they had way more time that they could have committed to things. They did give 30 minutes to the main event, plus entrances, plus all this. So that was almost an hour with Seth and his cash in. But Jelly Roll, they got a good amount of time, almost 20 minutes. It was Tiffany and Jade was 7 minutes, and that felt very rushed at the end. Sammy and Cross was 8. And then the women's tag was like another, I think, 10-minute affair, 13 minutes, I think 13:30 to be exact. So the opener was 21 minutes, and I felt like that actually was about a good length for that spot. I could have done without a couple of Superman punches, but I wasn't expecting it to end early as it did. So not before 10, certainly. Tomorrow night seems like it's definitely stacked in its favor. What match are you looking forward to the most for tomorrow, Cody?
Of course, the John Cena Cody Rhodes match, because I get to see Cena one final time, and then the TLC match.
I agree. I think besides Cena and Cody, obviously, that's probably going to be everybody's top. I want to see that TLC match. I think that's going to be bonkers. I've always enjoyed tag team wrestling, and this is going to be crazy. Let me know in the chat what you're looking forward to. Liz said the TLC match and Cody Rhodes and John Cena as well. Do we get heel Cody? Do we not? Do we get Cena actually being a face, or is he still a bad guy? So much to speculate on for night 2. But we'll be live here on Into Somewhere. Cody, our man on the inside, will be there. We're going to try and take community calls and get more people on the show if everything's up and running the right way. It's going to be a great time. I thank you guys for hanging out with us. I would probably give night 1 a 7 out of 10. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's a good, fair
bias,
judgment.
I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, probably because of bias of being there in person.
8 out of 10 from Cody. That makes damn good sense for you being there. The pop and circumstance, the pyro, all of it. I'm certain tomorrow is gonna just knock all this out of the water, but we'll see what happens. To all of those watching live on Twitter, thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. It's cool to gladly be live over here as well. It's really cool to have 70 of you watching on Twitter currently. So hello to all of you over there. And thank you for those on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Those on YouTube want to go ahead and be notified. Turn on that bell notification so you can see when we go live. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Cody, tell these amazing people where they can find you, my good man. And we will see you tomorrow night as you're our man on the inside for night 2 of SummerSlam.
You can find me over on my Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it nowadays, at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube also at Judgment Day Era. I promise I'll be posting video game stuff soon, probably live streaming it. And Instagram, you can find me over at Cody_Onidi_316.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hanging in there, my man, and calling us and giving us your take and sending us all those great shots and videos. Excuse me as I lose my voice at the end here. Guys, you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Countdown Ended. You got
music.
Did you? Yes, you did actually. I was showing the clip earlier, right when he made his his return. You got that one nailed as a perfect shot. You guys can see all of those on his Twitter at Judgment Day Era. Make sure you go ahead and check us out on Rumble and on Instagram at Countdown Ended. We're going to try and be live on TikTok as well. I agree. If it wasn't for Rollins, we probably would have given it an 8, but I'm staying at a 7 out of 10. Night 2 tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. I hope you guys all have a great night.
I think the Rollins.
What do you think? You think it's heel Rollins? It has to be. He's still a heel.
I think Braun Breaker.
He's not going to be a good guy. There's no way in hell.
Braun Breaker should have turned on him eventually. But
we'll see. We'll see. But nothing soon, Hopefully Breaker's not injured. We'll be talking about the entire weekend and any other news as well. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Cody, for hanging out. We'll see you guys then. Stay sexy. We'll see you for night 2 of SummerSlam tomorrow. Take care, guys.